CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. 76 days after it started, the partial government shutdown is over. President Trump has signed a bill that funds most of Homeland Security. House Speaker Mike Johnson saying after today's passage of the measure,
this will relieve pressure from the Department of Homeland Security. Secretary Mullen, who I've spoken to in the last couple of hours, will be greatly relieved. The president will, the administration will. We were not going to have lines at TSA. Everybody will get their paychecks now. We'll get moving forward.
President Trump has also signed an executive order establishing retirement accounts for millions of qualified Americans. CBS's Linda Kenyon with details.
The president says he's making good on his pledge to give all Americans the same types of retirement accounts available to federal employees.
Beginning at the start of next year, every American will be able to go to TrumpIRA.gov and open a new low-cost IRA account.
Trump says the accounts will include federal matching funds.
Low-income Americans will be eligible to receive up to $1,000 per year.
These accounts will be available for those who earn less than $35,000 per year. It will take congressional approval to expand the program to people who earn more. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
For a second straight day, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth visits Capitol Hill to defend the Pentagon's record $1.5 trillion budget request, this time before the Senate Armed Services Committee. Secretary Hegseth and New York Democratic Senator Kirsten Gillibrand disagree over whether Iran posed a threat to the U.S.
You don't care whether
when the American people
support this war.
The American people are quite smart. They understand and see through spin. They know that a regime that says death to America, that seeks nuclear weapons and the ability to deliver. Did they lie about the range of their missiles?
The suspected gunman at Saturday's White House Correspondents' Dinner, Cole Allen, appears in a D.C. federal courtroom where his lawyers have agreed to not challenge his detention. CBS's Anna Schechter says his defense has many issues to address.
Was Googling the White House Correspondents' Dinner for the 3 weeks leading up to it and bought that train ticket to D.C. Prosecutors are going to say there's no other reason why he was there staying in that Hilton hotel except for to commit this attack.
Louisiana congressional primaries are suspended as a result of the Supreme Court's ruling over new House district maps. Olympic and World Cup champion Lindsey Vonn hopes to ski again after breaking her leg at the Winter Games in February, almost losing it. 8 surgeries later, she says she has no regrets about skiing at the Olympics a month after rupturing her ACL.
It was my decision. I got consulted by my doctor, my physical therapist, my coaches. I had all the opinions and they all said that I was good to go.
This is CBS News.
What is going on?
What's going on here?
How is this possible? Great storytelling starts here.
Oh, come on.
Why? It's time for 60 Minutes.
Coming up, multiple students stabbed at Tacoma's Foss High School. The very latest after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. Seattle Sports has our busy update. Let's start you in Columbia City, where all lanes have reopened on MLK Jr. Way and South Columbian Way following a brief police scene over there. Early reports say this involved a shooting between 2 cars. At this point, we're looking to confirm all this, and right now, no one has been apprehended. North 5 through Seattle were jam-packed just before the West Seattle Bridge to I-90. You'll catch a little breather, and then solid again from Mercer to the Ship Canal Bridge. All added up, we're at 45 minutes to get through this. Eastbound on the West Seattle Bridge, you're going to jam up at Highway 99 over to I-5. Westbound 520 already packed at Montlake Boulevard to I-5. South 5, you're going to slow from Northgate to I-90. These are all very typical backups. South 405 heading through Renton is going to slow at 520 all the way to that Renton landing. 25 minutes from Bellevue to Renton. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeways, a 40-minute commute. Also a 40-minute trip between Tacoma and Olympia. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO Newsradio breaking news.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granello. Police say 6 people were taken to hospitals after a stabbing at Foss High School in Tacoma this afternoon. KIRO Newsradio's Frank Lindsay is live with the latest.
Aaron, 5 of the people hurt were students. Among them, the suspect, Shelby Boyd with Tacoma Police, says a security guard was also injured.
But the scene is safe, and we are currently in investigation mode. We have an area. The student parking lot is an area where parents can meet their kids.
Now, officers were called to campus. Again, this is Foss High School in Tacoma, about 1:35 after getting reports of some kind of fight on campus. Police trying to figure out what it was all about and how badly everybody has been hurt. But again, the suspect is in custody and taken to the hospital along with those 5 others, including 4 students and a security guard. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch is on his way to the scene as well. Aaron?
Thank you, Frank. This just in. Also, prosecutors have now charged a Seattle man in a violent attack on a 77-year-old man in downtown. Prosecutors say 29-year-old Ahmad Osman is charged with felony assault for the attack near 3rd and Pike. Happened just before midnight on April 19th. Charging documents say the victim was knocked to the ground at random and suffered a broken arm and knee and a gash to his forehead. Prosecutors now asking for $200,000 bail. Police are still looking for a second suspect. Man convicted of a double murder in Maple Valley will learn his fate today. Prosecutors wanting the judge to give him 84 years.
43-year-old Brandon Gerner killed Ashley Williams and Robert Riley in November of 2023 at a commercial property, which Riley had been guarding after previous break-ins. Casey McNerthney in the King County Prosecutor's Office says Williams was stabbed about 19 times and also shot. Riley was shot too.
What prosecutors said was that level of violence is really unfathomable.
Prosecutors say Gerner and 2 accomplices loaded their bodies into a truck and dumped them alongside a road. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
Freedom lasted just a few hours for an inmate mistakenly released from prison. The 52-year-old was tracked down by Kitsap County deputies on April 22nd, the day he got out.
Put your hands up. Straight up. Face away from me.
Sheriff's office says he was taken back into custody without incident in Bremerton. The man was jailed for burglarizing a Kitsap County firearms dealer back in 2014. Your weather update now. Mix of clouds and sunshine this afternoon, and highs today in the low 70s. We're up to 68 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Oh, boy. By the way, Hee Haw Aaron wrote and said he's got a really good way to start the show on the voice message. No, I know. Just letting you know. Maybe
You
next.
said we don't do that anymore.
Well, Hee Haw has been around for a long time. I trust his taste.
All right.
And whatever great means. So just something to look forward to.
I'll dig into that.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Again.
Wow, that's satie.
Very low bar. Really, just not even a bar. You got to dig around. You got to call the county to dig to find the bar.
Get a permit.
Whole thing. Yeah, dry. Here we go. Muggles Casino Resort text line. Yeah, you're there. Thank you. 1-888-973-5476. Still struggling from what turned out to be a horrible beginning to the day. All I wanted was a couple of Wilcox Plenty Farm eggs. Yum. Well, we didn't have any at the time. So somebody that has chickens, the chickens laid the eggs, brought them in here. Nate had them sitting on his desk. And then I said, hey, I'll take 2 of those. What are you going to do with them? And then everybody seemed somehow like amazed, like I was, some sort of miracle. I said, I'm going to turn them into hard-boiled eggs. I'm going to put them in a bowl or a mug, and I put some water in there, put them in the microwave, turn it on for like 3-4 minutes, and hard-boil them. Yum! And then we looked at me like, oh, and then you're going to raise Lazarus from the dead? What? Have water into wine? What other
down there?
What other tricks you got up your sleeve there? Fancy hard-boiled egg magician?
Yeah, I didn't know what was happening until I heard the explosion.
And then there was an explosion. Not my fault. The problem was Nate called me over to look at something on his computer screen, and I was distracted. I wasn't there to get the eggs just to the right amount of time. And holy moly. It's crazy.
I didn't think you were supposed to microwave eggs for that reason.
What?
I do believe the Nate part, though. It distracts Andrew.
No, hold on a second. What do you mean? What do you mean you're supposed to not microwave them?
I've never heard of anyone hard boiled an egg in the microwave before, and it didn't work out today, did it?
It's like with potatoes. You got to poke holes in the potatoes, otherwise they explode.
Oh, you're right. Okay, I heated up the inside of the egg.
Yep.
Yeah, all right.
Pressure inside,
and then everybody's like, "Oh, well, it smells like somebody's cutting the cheese or something." And then everyone's all mad at me. I said, hey, gives everybody a free, you get a pass. Go ahead, just let one rip. No one's going to know it's going to run the microwave. Speaking of stinky things, here we go. This is a terrible idea. For you people that are big Trump supporters, 1-888-973-5476, I would gladly welcome your belief, your faith that it would be a good idea for the federal government to bail out Spirit Airlines. Let's save Spirit Airlines. This is crazy. They won $500 million. And then you know who's right behind them? Then Frontier, and then JetBlue will be right behind them. They'll all be lining up like a bunch of planes waiting to take off at O'Hare in the afternoon on a Friday because they all want the money. But let's talk about Spirit Airlines. In 2010, Spirit Airlines was making a ton of money. In 2019, they spent about $10 million. They bought a whole bunch of new Airbus 320s. First mistake there. They should have bought Boeings, right? They didn't. They didn't buy the Boeing. And then they built a 500,000 square foot campus there in, I think, Dana, Florida. And then they start running into problems. So Frontier and Spirit were supposed to come together in 2022. They said, okay, we're going to merge together so that we could have just, one airline where people beat the crap out of each other. But then that kind of fell apart because right away JetBlue came in and said, hey, whoa. Hold on, you guys. Break it up. We want to come in and we will offer $3.7 billion. We'd like to buy you, Spirit Airlines. We want to take you on and we'll take you. And then at that point, they start negotiating, going back and forth. But then the Biden administration, who's used like an inflatable doll at a bachelor party, the unions use Biden so well, they said, no, you can't do that because if they merge together, about 9,600 jobs are going to be lost and we can't have something like that. So the whole thing gets stopped by the Department of Justice, and a judge says, no, we can't have them. And Elizabeth Warren was like, no, if they do that, it's going to cause a great big problem for Americans that can't afford to fly anywhere else and get punched in the face. What are we going to do? There won't be enough flights there at Frontier Airlines. And then I saw this report. Was this the one I sent you, Joe? Yeah, here he goes. I want you to listen to this. This is from my dad, all right? From the grave, my father would be saying, listen for the percentages. Listen for the percentages. That's where the lies are. Listen to this. Here we go. Ready?
The U.S. government kicked off its antitrust case against JetBlue in federal court on Tuesday. The Department of Justice urged a judge in Boston to block the airline's planned acquisition of low-cost carrier Spirit Airlines for nearly $4 billion. Okay. The trial is part of a broad effort by President Joe Biden's administration to preserve competition.
No, to keep the unions happy.
And ensure air travel remains affordable for U.S. consumers.
Affordable.
The Justice Department attorney argued the airline merger would lead to fewer seats and higher prices, citing an internal JetBlue analysis which projected its fares would increase 30%.
Okay, stop right there. Increase 30%. So the average fare was $200. A 30% increase would be what? $60. A $60 fare. That's it. It's going to go up. But if he were to say that it would go up $60 or 30%, the percentage is always put it all in there and make it seem it's really, really high. So JetBlue is going to make more money. Imagine that. They want to make more money, right? So it's going to cost $60 extra to fly JetBlue. Okay, that's the first percentage. Here comes the second one.
Once the deal was finalized, she said that would cost passengers roughly $1 billion.
Yeah. Who said this? Is this Elizabeth Warren said this? Or?
Its fares would increase 30% once the deal was finalized. She said that would cost passengers roughly $1 billion annually.
$1 billion. It would cost passengers $1 billion. Now, if he had rewritten this and he were to say, if the merger were to go through, the increased cost would cost 1%. That's all it is. That's all it is. 1% increase in airline fares. That's it. Because it was going to be $1 billion, but it's a $100 billion business, so it's 1%. So, wow, oh my God, it's going to go up 1%. But of course they can't say that.
An attorney for JetBlue countered that the case was a misguided challenge to a merger between the country's 6th and 7th largest.
6th and 7th. There's plenty of others. They're going to put the two of them together. Again, it's going to make it that much easier for you to throw hot coffee on a flight attendant.
Airlines, which together control less than 8% of the domestic market, dominated by 4 larger carriers. United, American, Delta, and Southwest Airlines control 80% of the domestic market. The attorney for JetBlue said the government had wrongly tried to bar it from growing into a larger challenger to those 4 rivals and disrupt a market that has become bad for competition and bad for consumers.
Okay.
The trial began on the same...
Anyway, blah, blah, blah. The judge blocked it. So one of the reasons, by the way, the JetBlue is then they went into bankruptcy. They tried to change a few things around. They're not JetBlue. Spirit said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to cut a couple of our flights. We'll make them a little shorter so we can't have people tear weaves off each other's heads. And we'll condense some things. We'll add some extra stuff like Wi-Fi, and we'll give you a few extra perks along the way. But then it didn't work because everybody hated the customer service. Here's some people that were disappointed the flight wasn't canceled. This is the JetBlue customer service person.
All right, now, you all want to get on this flight or not? Yes, we do. All right, so everyone's going to shut up, and we're going to say this once, and we're only going to say it again because we're frustrated as hell.
You want to pay money for that? Here's a pilot.
Tower Spirit 212.
Go ahead, Spirit.
Yeah, we got a fist fight breaking out in the cabin. No breach on the cockpit, nothing like that, but we got a couple of passengers that are going at it in the back of the aircraft. Could you let our company know that we're going to need the cops?
Yep, we'll call them right now.
All right. Okay.
He sounds like he gets that call all the time.
With Spirit. All right, so here's what happens now. If Spirit, which is about days away from going out of business because the cost of jet fuel has gone up and they can't cover the delta in there. So here's what's going to happen. If they were to merge, it would have cost 9,700 jobs. Now it's going to cost probably 17,000 jobs when it goes out of business. When Elizabeth Warren said that she was fighting for the consumers and the employees, and this was going to be the best thing. So now what they're looking at is 17,000 jobs lost if it goes away. Now here's the horrible part of the news. That's not the worst part. The worst part is you have the Trump administration coming in there and saying, I think Howard Lednick's involved in this as well.
Oh.
Don't get into the Epstein thing.
we barely spent any time on Letnick yesterday.
Hang on.
Okay.
Let's lend him the money. Let's give him the money. We'll have an equity share in it, and then the government's going to be involved in the $500 million that they're going to give to Spirit Airlines just to kind of help them out. They have like $3 billion in debt. The $500 million is going to get sucked out right away. There's no way it's going to save them. Plus, once they leave, who's knocking at the door next? Oh, it's Frontier. They want to come in because they want to they need some extra money to get some Clorox to get the blood stains out of the chairs. And then who's right behind? Oh, there comes JetBlue. Bad idea. If you don't like socialism and you don't like the idea of the government, taking over the means of production, this is in effect the government, being a partner in this airlines. Let them go. Let them go. They'll take all their beautiful Airbuses, which I think they've sold 20-some% of them. The rest will be sold as well. Somebody can buy something else that they have. These things should go. It's called a profit and loss statement. The best thing that you can do is let these businesses just fade away. And then someone else will come in. And a $45 fare may or may not be met somewhere if somebody wants to fly around with a bunch of people that have no respect for anybody else. Well, somebody else will rush in there and have that. But there is no way the government should get anywhere near this job of bailing out an airline that just simply, went over their skis and spent way too much. The great story of A&P. A&P markets, there were 1,500 of them across the United States, even more, I think, at some point. That was where you bought your groceries from. They dominated the world of groceries. You would go in there and you have your little basket with you, get your groceries, your produce and your meat, whatever else you need, your milk, and then you would walk from the A&P store down the sidewalk back to your apartment. And they were the thing. No one else bought any groceries other than from A&P. They were the big monster. But what happened? In the 1960s and 70s, all of a sudden, people started moving out to the suburbs. So you get a grocery store with a great big parking lot. And A&P's like, no way, we're sticking with what we're doing. We're going to stay right here in the city because this is where it's at. Well, the problem was the person who'd leave their apartment and walk into the A&P store and buy a couple of groceries, they could only carry what they could carry back to their apartment. Well, if you went to the brand new supermarkets that were popping up all over the suburbs in the 60s, well, then you had a cart, and you had a parking lot. You'd fill up your stuff in the cart. You'd roll it out to your car. You put it in your car, go on back. You make sure the kids are not buckled in. You light up a cigarette and you drive back home again. And that's the way it was. And all of a sudden, A&P went from being all over the United States, dominating the market, to out of business, I think, within 5 years. Why? Because when people were saying to the people at A&P, listen, you need to move into the suburbs, you need to open great big stores out there and compete, they said, no, we're going to stay right where we are. This is what our business is. And within, I think it was 5 years, they went from being the big kid on the block, making millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars in profit, which I'm sure is close to billions if you use today's dollars, to being gone. How does it happen? You don't evolve. You didn't have the government to come in to save them. They didn't do anything about the fact that they had competition that was 20 miles away in the suburbs with people with carts going to the cars, buying as much as they possibly could, and they were away. So, same thing could happen and should happen with Spirit Airlines, and if JetBlue can't do it either, then too bad for those if you can't get the prices right, and let's just all marvel at the fact that you can get on an airplane and you can fly across the country for $200 or $250, and at the exact same time, no charge to watch people punch each other. So, Donald Trump, if you're listening, don't do it. Don't give any of these people any money because the government and the U.S. Treasury doesn't have it to lend. So don't start handing out dollars to people. You ever flown Frontier?
No.
Ever flown Spirit?
Nope.
Oh, my God. It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. People, it's just crazy. I mean, I used to take the Greyhound bus, which I used to refer to as the family car because I didn't have any money, so I'd take the family car from Philadelphia to New York. I mean, the Greyhound bus, the people were more polite than Spirit Airlines. It's amazing how inconsiderate. And you look over at somebody like, I can't believe they're talking to these people this way.
I'm shocked
it's crazy.
That I refused to sit anywhere behind
I did not want to fly Spirit Airlines.
What was what circumstances?
Something got canceled or something I got rerouted and redirected. If you're ever on a Spirit Airlines and if there's ever a medical emergency and we have a medical emergency, is there a doctor on board? Guaranteed there will not be a doctor on board. No way.
Nope.
No way.
What have they said? What is their motivation for saving Spirit? Why do they care?
Oh, because we could give them the $500 million, that we could have shared equity in the thing. They want to save the jobs on the thing. They want to save the 17,000 jobs or something. And then the government can get in there and get a part of the share of it, and then we come back and take part of the profit. Who knows? You don't have $500 million.
Yeah.
They don't have the money for that.
No.
What are you saving the thing for? Again, everybody else will line up.
Yeah, I mean, the banks...
Oh, and they're going to use the national defense or something? Yeah, they're going to use, here's what they're planning on. While the government has considered using the Defense Production Act to provide financing in exchange for the equity stakes that these talks would face in challenges. I guess they would be able to take the planes at the time of war or something?
What does that mean?
Jeez.
Or is that just an emergency clause to spend
That you could
money?
slide it over there that if it was a time of emergency, we could access some of these planes. You don't have enough planes.
That's not a good sign.
Spirit is facing severe cash shortage, yeah. Yeah, let them go. So long.
See ya.
Bye-bye. Here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
Hey, Sean, Carpet Liquidators has the update. Everett to Marysville, just over a 15-minute drive this afternoon. It's crowded from 526 all the way to 529. Seattle to Everett is at 50 minutes. We're slow from Shoreline through Linwood. Bellevue to Everett just hit 1 hour already. It's scattered slowing starting way back at I-90, and this continues pretty steadily all the way up to that Alderwood interchange. Going the other way, Bellevue to Renton is a half-hour commute. It's solid from 520 all the way into those Renton S-curves and extra thick between Northeast 8th and Cold Creek Parkway. Seattle to Federal Way, 35 minutes. Typical backup here from the Duwamish Curve to 516. Tacoma to Olympia, we've climbed up to 50 minutes. Your biggest slowdown is a 3-mile backup through JBLM. And on the water, the Point Defiance Ferry Terminal and the Mukilteo Ferry Terminals are both reporting 1-hour waits for drivers. Get your entire home installed for just $99 at Carpet Liquidators. From carpet to flooring, Carpet Liquidators has got you covered. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And everybody is up, pulling for the big unit to do it with his brand, with his K. 1-2 pitch on the way, swing and a miss, and it's over. And he did it. He put it right on the rump of the old steer and burned her right in there.
It's the big units, big weekend when the Mariners retire Randy Johnson's number 51 at T-Mobile Park. Congratulations, Randy, from a grateful city and the station that broadcasts every Mariners game you ever pitched. KIRO News Radio.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon?
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
My name is Skip, and Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland helped me with my small business administration loan. With her help, I was able to keep my small business open, and she can help you too. Please contact Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland's office at 360-459-8514 or visit strickland.house.gov for help. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Parango and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Eric Johnson here. I covered a lot of accidents over the past 30 years or so, but I never got to say much about what to do after a crash. Be honest, do you know what evidence to collect, what pictures to take, what documents to request, or what you shouldn't say to your insurance company? The Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the roads throw at them. Know your rights and how to avoid common mistakes after an accident by getting your free copy at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
You've worked hard, saved diligently, and now retirement is on the horizon. But will your nest egg go the distance? With rising cost and uncertain markets, there's no time for oversimplified plans. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
Hey there, Dawn Riling with Olympic Hot Tub. Ready to create your home wellness retreat? Whether you love a relaxing session in infrared or traditional steam heat, we have the perfect Hilo sauna waiting for you. Up your wellness game by building your own contrast therapy studio, featuring a new sauna and our amazing Vigor Cold Plunge. Buy both and save up to $5,000. Savings end April 30th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
The future of home comfort is here. The new Carrier Infinity system delivers premium home heating and cooling with innovative filtration for healthy air and over-the-air software updates that help optimize performance. Carrier, for the world we share.
Save up to $2,100 in Carrier Cool Cash rebates when you purchase a premium heating or cooling system, while also taking advantage of a special financing offer of 0% APR for 60 months. For details, visit CarrierNorthwest.com. That's CarrierNorthwest.com.
KIRO News Radio, continuing coverage.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. A Tacoma high school became a crime scene this afternoon with multiple students hurt in a stabbing. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay is live.
Shelby Boyd with Tacoma Police says a total of 6 people were hurt this afternoon at Foss High School.
1 was a suspect, 1 was a security guard, the other 4 were students.
They were all taken to the hospital. The exact nature of their injuries not clear at this point, but at least 4 of them were said to be in serious condition. This started around 1:35 this afternoon with reports of some kind of fight on campus. The school was put into lockdown. Students have been released now. Parents can meet them in the student parking lot, and Officer Boyd tells us that the scene is safe. Aaron?
Thank you, Frank. And we do have our reporter, James Lynch, on the way to that scene. State health officials confirmed 3 additional measles cases. The Washington State Department of Health says 2 of those cases are in Kittitas County, the other in Spokane County. Agency says there is no known source of exposure, suggesting measles is spreading undetected in those communities. So far this year, 40 measles cases have been confirmed statewide. That's compared to 12 all of last year. Governor Bob Ferguson has agreed to pay a fine to settle an ethics investigation. Details from KIRO News Radio's Amanda Factor.
Governor Ferguson will pay a $4,000 fine for inviting a former aide to fly with him on a state plane last year. The state ethics board found Ferguson gave a special benefit to Mike Webb by bringing him on a trip to the Tri-Cities last June. Webb was not a state employee. He had resigned after allegations he created a hostile workplace for women in the governor's office. Ferguson called the decision to invite Webb, quote, pretty stupid, during a staff meeting. The board is expected to vote on that settlement next week. Amanda Factor, KIRO News Radio.
We now know how much Microsoft's voluntary buyouts will cost the company. Microsoft CFO Amy Hood laid out the numbers during yesterday's earnings call.
Roughly $900 million in one-time costs for the recently announced voluntary retirement program.
The cost is just a fraction of Microsoft's most recent quarterly profit. It hit nearly $32 billion. About 7% of the company's U.S.-based employees are eligible for those buyouts. Now to the real-time traffic desk. It's 3:32. We check in with Nate Connors.
All right, Aaron. Seattle to Everett plan on 50 minutes. You're slow from Shoreline, starting about 1:30th all the way through Linwood. Bellevue to Everett, 1 hour. You're scattered slowing between I-90 and the Alderwood interchange. Everett to Seattle, you're doing all right. Just 40 minutes. It's a little crowded through Linwood. And again, from Lake City Way to I-90. North 5, we are jam-packed at the Michigan Curve. A pretty solid backup, really, from there to the Ship Canal Bridge. Close to 45 minutes to get through downtown. Those lake bridges are doing good. Westbound 520 jams up in Montlake. Westbound 90, we're starting to fill in the Mount Baker Tunnel over to I-5, right around 20 minutes from Bellevue on either route. In South Center, North 405, just past the West Valley Highway, got a new collision blocking your right lane. And Tacoma to Olympia, give yourself 50 minutes. Again, your biggest slowdown is this 3-mile bumper-to-bumper backup through JBLM. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And now to your forecasts. We are seeing some high clouds this afternoon, but pleasant temperatures, low 70s out there. We just hit 70 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right. On a Thursday at the John Curley Show, thank you, one and all. By the way, did you find Hee Haw Aaron's voicemail just in case you start the show? No? That you got?
It was a voicemail.
It's a voicemail, yeah. That's where you're going to start.
I thought it was like some brand new idea.
We're going to stick with the lousy ideas we've been throwing out there.
Oh, my God.
All right. Home comfort lines when it comes to heating and cooling and plumbing. And then you're like, electric too? Yes, but just don't be standing in the tub while you're working with the hot wire. When was the last time you got yourself electrocuted by a mistake?
Ooh. I honestly can't recall. I did it intentionally once in shop class. I decided to take a piece of sheet metal and bend it like a horseshoe and put it into the lights or to the plug socket.
It worked. That fit in the socket? The horseshoe?
Yeah. No, it was a piece of... These two don't listen.
They don't listen. They don't listen.
Oh.
This is pearls before swine.
Man.
Pearls before swine.
What are we doing?
You're in the middle of a captivating story about how you decided to electrocute yourself in shop class.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking, but it did electrocute me, and it turned off all the lights in the giant shop class, and the teacher called me an idiot.
Yep.
And that was it.
Okay, thanks for that, Joe.
Survived.
There you go.
Thanks.
Don't do that, by the way. Home Comfort Alliance says, let us take care of all of that.
I remember when I was shocked last.
Okay, fine. Where's my little... Oh, there it is right there. Is it tomorrow, the big march out, the big May Day march? It's happening 2026. That's right. We're going to workers over billionaires. Okay. It's just so tiring. No, is this the May Day one that we used to, the Seattle used to have all the riots?
It's the
Same
annual
thing. Yeah. I remember, Ryan was like, I don't know, 10 or something. I said, hey, you want to go to a riot? He goes, yeah. Where? I said, we're going to go downtown Seattle to Westlake. There'll probably be a riot. There'll be tear gas and stuff. You'll see people, throwing stuff at the cops, whacking them and stuff. Let's go down there. He goes, yeah, let's go. So we go down there. But the police had really learned how to move them along. They would start up in Capitol Hill. They'd march along. They got really good at keeping them together, not letting them bunch up, not letting them stop. And Ryan was so disappointed. He's like, this is a terrible riot. There's hardly anything.
Agreed.
I said, okay, let's go home. So they fixed it. I don't know if they're planning another riot. I know they're planning a march, but it's always in the eye of the beholder as to what's happening. But in this particular case, they've got big plans for everybody. And I think it's primarily being driven by the teachers union. They want everybody out there because somehow they're telling everybody that billionaires are trying to destroy education.
We've all seen plenty in the news about attacks on working people in the past year.
This is another group.
ICE raids, attacks on unions, foreign wars. These are all examples of what the working class must unite to resist. This May, we're asking you to join the fight with workers, immigrants, and migrants as we unite at Seattle's 2026 May Day rally and march. Join us in calling for community, not ICE, workers, not billionaires, and services, not war. See you on May 1st.
I'll bet if you said to any one of those people down there you had a bullhorn, how many people here would like to be a billionaire? I mean, if they were honest. Okay, I see a couple hands in the front. There's some people down there with some masks on. You guys would like to be a billionaire? You want to be a billionaire? I'm sure most people would say, yep. I wonder how many of those people actually pay the lottery. When the big Powerball comes along and it's up to whatever it is, $1 billion or something, I'll throw a couple of dollars in the pool. So if you're one of the workers, union worker, migrant, or immigrant, or whatever else category they threw in there, if they had hey, we're putting together, you throw a couple bucks in, we're going to buy the Powerball. You want to be in? Why would that person want to win? I can't imagine if you offered somebody some cash, how many people would not take it? If somebody stood up there with a big bag of money and said, walk up, form a line, I'll take the first 100 people, and I'll give each one of you $100,000.
That's a lot less than $1 billion.
What do you got to do? Just stand in line?
I'm in.
Yeah. Everybody's got a price. And for some reason, these people feel as if the billionaires are doing something to them, and they need to go around, march around. They're going to spend their day. I don't know, what time does the march start? Probably right about time where most people are working.
Noonish?
Noonish, yeah.
Usually.
Out there bouncing around. Yeah, because it's unfair. Yes, it is very unfair. It's unfair that certain people have unbelievably God-given skills that the rest of us don't have, but we're willing to pay to watch it. It's not fair that certain people are really, really talented and people are not talented. But what are you going to do? Stop somebody who's a really good basketball player or a really good football player or a golfer or musician from not performing because it's so unfair to everybody? But the fact that the union is down there and they got all the National Education Association with their $500 million worth of assets are upset because they think the billionaires are trying to destroy education. Believe me, you guys, the unions, you're doing a bang-up job on your own destroying public education. And speaking of somebody destroying something, Charlie Kirk is murdered. His wife takes over. And this thing, I was reading about how much money they're bleeding every single day. The Empire Strikes Out, the continued unraveling of Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA. He was the guy. People came to hear him. They wanted to see him. They sent money to Charlie Kirk, not to his wife. And then they have these different events and they just bomb.
Crowds, counter-protesters, hundreds show up to the University of Washington Student Union after Turning Point USA returns to campus. Stepping aside so you guys can better hear me, but Nick Freitas is here with Turning Point USA. It's worth noting there is a large law enforcement presence here as well. Dozens of security officers, police from UW. They're here on scene. I did ask the Turning Point USA folks over at the table there. I was like, okay, how did the event come together? What did you do to put it on? And they would not answer a single question, refused to answer them. So I'm not really sure the context of how this all came together.
It's over.
It's over.
It's over. Charlie was a phenom. He starts as a guy that just went to a couple of colleges and spoke to some groups, and then eventually got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. He got himself a podcast. He wrote books. He did speaking events. That was it. The whole thing was Charlie Kirk. That was it. When Charlie Kirk goes, it's over. They just Erica sent out something, I forget, but a couple of months ago or something. Oh, this was in March. You know, that no one's going to get laid off. Don't worry about it. You're all family. Don't worry about it. And then they start firing everybody.
Look at you. Want to be an important person.
This is a protester, an unhinged white guy with cornrow braids who loves to say the N-word and harass two supporters, even begging one to shoot him.
Yeah.
Is this one of the Turning Point guys?
No, this is a protest.
Oh, okay.
Now you have a toxic man that I've identified here and another Karen.
Screaming at women and degrading women.
Look, and I know these men.
Okay, who's talking? Is this the crazy guy? The
crazy guy.
Oh,
yeah.
crazy. Okay.
I know these men real well. Look at the cops
is.
right now.
At least he knows what
now you're
a woman
interrupting.
is.
Both of you are incredible at interrupting. Listen to learn, but first you have to learn to listen. You look away too. As you talk, you both look away. You go like this. You think you're important. You want.
All right, I'm lost. It's talking about schizophrenia. This is what everybody's hearing in their head.
I come and intimidate, and every time I look at you in the eyes and I ask an important question, now he knows the drill. Now he wants to come and perform. He didn't. Okay, look at it. Hit me.
No, you hit me first.
I don't. See, I'm not triggered ever. My nervous system, it's all regulated. Hit me, Nick. Hit me. You want to hit me, You want to hit me, You want to hit me. Hit me,
Oh, is this where they're just standing there facing each other?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. That's tomorrow if you want to be a part of it. Get in there.
No. That was yesterday.
I know, but I'm sure the same sort of stuff. You can get people, although most people don't show up at the May Day thing to counter any protest. They'll march around, they'll go to Westlake, they'll make a bunch of speeches about billionaires trying to destroy the country and Donald Trump and then free Palestine and Ukraine and then Black Lives Matter, and then they'll all, then they'll just go home. But that was the turning point. It's a perfect example of that Turning Point fiasco was the event that they had. Was it in Arizona and no one showed, or hardly anyone showed up?
Oh, no. This was in Georgia.
All right, that was the one, right.
I mean, this is like Turning Point, like Central. This is at the University of Georgia. And Erica Kirk was scheduled to speak with J.D. Vance, the Vice President of the United States. They gave away 10,000 tickets, or they had 10,000 tickets to give away. A couple of days before the event, she says there was a credible threat on her life, so she's not going to appear anymore. About 1,000 people showed up of the 10,000.
Oh.
J.D. Vance sat on the stage and gave some...
Oh, he answered some questions.
He answered some questions. The Secret Service says there was absolutely no threat. The president was fine. The president of the Georgia chapter of Turning Point quit the next day and said, this thing is a mess.
It's over.
Yeah, it's over.
It's a shame because it's the oddest way I've ever seen a human being mourn for the loss of her husband.
Don't even get me started on that.
Well, I'm going to get you started. Don't get me started.
Don't get me started.
Well, I'm going to get you started the next break. Here's Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
Thanks, John. Up at Snoqualmie, westbound 18. We've got stop-and-go traffic starting from I-90 over to Deep Creek. About a mile and a half back up here. Yeah, I think crews are getting ready for the full closure that happens tonight at 9 o'clock. All westbound 18 lanes will close between I-90 and Issaquah-Hobart Road again tonight at 9 for a paving project. It's going to be closed through the weekend, reopening early Monday morning. Renton to Puyallup on 167 is a 40-minute commute. You're slow between Renton and Kent, catch a little break, and then more slowing between Algona and Sumner. Seattle to Federal Way, 35 minutes. North 405 in South Center, just past the West Valley Highway. Still looking at a crash taking up your right lane. This is in the middle of a solid backup from I-5 through the Renton S-curves. South Center to Bellevue has gone up to a half-hour drive. North 5 in Seattle is going to take you 45 minutes to get through this backup that starts at the Michigan curve all the way to the Ship Canal Bridge. Everett to Marysville has climbed to 25 minutes. We're slow from 526 all the way to the Outlet Mall where a collision was blocking, but it's just been moved to your right shoulder. That's a 12-mile backup. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thanks, Nate Connors. You know what? I know what it's like when you watch the hair begin to thin. Actually, where there's the crown, that's disappearing, and then the hair loss just to kind of rob you of your identity. You have to think of yourself something different. You're like, gosh, maybe I'm a bald guy. Yeah, that's how I felt before I visited Advanced Hair. You see, Advanced Hair has got a simple one-day treatment, and they regrow your own natural hair. They do the exact same thing for you. So if you notice that your hair is falling out, it's not coming back, you start to think, who do I blame? Oh, is my mother's brother's uncle? Is it my father's side? Doesn't matter. You got dealt a bad hand genetically. So let's just fix it. Get your hair back. If it's going away in the front, the sides, wherever it is, your hair deserves to be back on your head. So you set up a free consultation, get $250 off and 250 free hair graft by calling 425-449-8185. And you don't want to wait, because your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the 425 Business of the Year. A call to them at 425-449-8185 or visit them online at advancedhair.com.
Hi, I'm Charlie Hart.
And I'm Amanda Factor. Will we set another all-time record overnight?
We'll have the latest on how the war in Iran is affecting the price at the pump.
Mariners back home after a very successful road trip back to 500.
Henrik Riz joins us with a preview of the series against the Royals.
Paul Holden has your weekend planner.
And Sully with traffic every 10 minutes.
Join us tomorrow, 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
Support comes from Amazon Business. You can't rely on guesswork to run your business. With Smart Business Buying, innovative AI tools optimize your purchasing experience, paired with delivery options built for business. Empower your team today. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Nick, you know what my dad always used to say?
Oh, which thing? Let me guess. If you put anything on a hot dog besides mustard, it's un-American?
Okay, that's true. Okay, but no, about the word worry. Remember he used to say about the word worry?
Yes, that it's not a verb, but it actually is.
I know it's a verb, but Nick, his point was nothing comes from worrying. You can sit here and worry about all the news and all about the chaos in the world. You worry about your health, but nothing comes of it. You have to take action.
Right.
Like, for instance, you and I, we go into Longevity Medical Clinic. That's an action. It's about taking that action. Like, people can go to Longevity Medical Clinic, take the free health analysis, and then they can find out how they're aging and the things they can do in order to slow down the process to have a big, full, rich life so you can enjoy a hot dog with whatever you want on it.
And now worry is a verb.
See, there you go. So it all starts with you taking action. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
How does your roof look after this winter? Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Spring into action today. Save $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Clutter happens. Let Closets by Design save the day. For a limited time, get 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN. Welcome back, everybody. Joe is out on the trail of Erica Kirk and what seems to be an odd way to mourn the loss of your beloved husband. How many days after the death of her husband did this phone call get caught and leaked?
12 days, I think.
Hi, everybody. I still love all these emoji. Zoom
This is Erica Kirk.
things. Wow. I don't even know where to begin. The fact that we were able to pull off an event of a century, like it's just insane. We had over 275,000 people that attended. I think we're at like over 200,000 for merch sales. Don't quote me on that because I think it just keeps like bumping up like crazy. But I just wanted to say a huge thank you to the events team, the development team, the graphic design team, the production team, just phenomenal. And honestly, a lot of the staff that worked on the memorial, they had 20-hour days for a week.
Let's just say it just seems odd. I think that's the most charitable way to explain the reaction. 12 days after your husband and the memorial and counting merch sales. The weird part, I mean, if that's not weird enough, imagine if you were on the team, whatever team she's talking about, production or something else, and you loved Charlie, you worked for Charlie, right, and you thought the two of them were this great couple. Wouldn't you be looking at somebody else like, this is really weird?
Well,
like if you're on that Zoom call, you're like, wait, so somebody must have leaked it.
That's why we're hearing it, because a ton of people bailed. They're like, this is nothing about this smells right.
Will this work on radio? She does a skit about the Candace Owens. What's this?
Oh no! So she released this monologue today in this odd, like all black with a black hat. It's just very weird look and so over dramatized.
Which one is that? The second one or the first one?
These are two cuts from the same thing.
Okay, so take the first one first. Yeah. Here we go.
While we may have big problems with illegal immigration in this country, I have to tell you, we have an even bigger problem when it comes to the systemic indoctrination and radicalization of our own citizens. This is what has led to 3 legitimate attempts on President Trump's life. And I can speak firsthand to that unbearable toll that this must take on our First Lady. There has never been a president who has faced this many assassination attempts in Americans' entire history. And if you can just pause.
Okay. Pause. I paused. Oh, not me. Okay, hang on.
And just take a minute and ask yourself, how would you feel if even just one person made cruel jokes about the attempted murder of your loved one? That is what Jimmy Kimmel did to the First Lady. He said that she had the glow of an expected widow.
Okay.
The glow of an expected widow. Just 48 hours before that nightmare almost became a reality.
Okay. Oh my God.
By the way, Adam Carolla, who
so tired.
politically is opposed to Jimmy Kimmel, he's like, look, this is a roast joke. We say that all the time. If you're an old dude with a young wife, we call you a glowing expected widow because
right.
you're hoping he'll die and give you all the money. We do it all the time.
It's not about the giving,
And it happened before the thing.
And then the White House is like, we're going to take away ABC's license. Listen, you do whatever jokes you want to do. The fact that your ratings sucked is enough. You don't need to have the White House jumping on top. Let them go down with the ship. The same thing. Let he and Spirit Airline go away. If your enemy is struggling like that, don't throw him a life preserver. But what do you okay, predictions. What happens to Erica Kirk?
I think she fades away into obscurity.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever this was today, and you almost have to see it to believe it because it is so weird.
With the black hat and the whole thing.
And the reaction is just awful from all sides.
She marries Trump Jr.
Ooh, wow.
Yep.
Whoa. Wow, what a take that is, huh?
Yep.
Okay, thank you, Nate. Thank you for that one.
I don't make predictions.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Aaron. Here's Nate with more predictions about traffic. Here we go.
All right, South Center, North 405, just past the Valley Highway. We've got a crash in that right lane. We've got a solid backup from I-5 through the Renton S-curve, so South Center to Bellevue is about a half hour. Now, heading north, Bellevue to Everett, hour 5 minutes. We've got a solid backup from mid-Bellevue all the way to that Alderwood interchange. Seattle to Everett at 55 minutes. You're going to slow at Northgate through Linwood. Everett to Marysville has climbed to 35 minutes. It's slow from 526 all the way up to that outlet mall from an earlier collision, and it's going to get real thick there at Highway 2. North 5 heading into downtown is heavy at the Michigan curve all the way to the Ship Canal Bridge, 40 minutes to get through this. And then South 5, you're going to slow from Northgate to the West Seattle Bridge now. It's a half-hour commute between Linwood and downtown Seattle. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And everybody is up, pulling for the big unit to do it with his brand, with his K. 1-2 pitch on the way, swing and a miss and a choke. And he did it. He put it right on the rump of the old steer and burned her right in there.
It's the big unit's big weekend when the Mariners retire Randy Johnson's number 51 at T-Mobile Park. Congratulations, Randy, from a grateful city and the station that broadcasts every Mariners game you ever pitched. KIRO News Radio.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. I'm here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. One thing the IRS has been working on is to modernize their infrastructure, the software that they use. And, you know, we look at that and say that's great for government efficiency, but in this case, that kind of efficiency means they're spotting people way faster.
They're able to do that, and they have to do that because they have fewer personnel. But look at your own work environment, how technology is replacing people, and you can get as much work done or more with the proper technology. And that's what the IRS's goal is that we need to use technology, especially AI, to make determinations on, okay, who should we go after? Who are we missing?
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
If your home is 20 years old or more, it might be time to have your roof checked. Your roof is your home's first line of defense, and at Guardian, we help it last as long as possible. That's why every new install comes protected with a full year of free maintenance on us. Visit us at guardianroofing.com.
Looking for lumber with a story? Then you've got to check out the new Earthwise Salvage Lumber Warehouse in Soto. Be the first to get your hands on reclaimed lumber with original character and local history. Their warehouse is packed with new inventory now, but when this wood is gone, it's gone, so act fast. Come visit the Salvage Lumber Warehouse for the grand opening on May 2nd from 11 to 3 in Soto. And remember, this lumber is harvested from structures, not forests. Find them at ewsalvage.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee.
Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most.
That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included.
Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi.
Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity. Imagine that.
Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber. Connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour. Your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Breaking news out of Tacoma, Washington, with reports of a stabbing at a high school and multiple people injured. CBS's Carter Evans with the latest.
Authorities tell CBS News a suspect is in custody and was taken to the hospital along with 4 other students and a school security officer. Now, police say all patients are stable, but the extent of their injuries is unknown. A parent who rushed to campus to pick up her daughter said there were reports of a fight between multiple students that resulted in the stabbings. She said after school activities were canceled and that she's afraid to send her child back to school tomorrow.
New York City police say a man forced his way into a home where his family was and intentionally set off an explosion, also threatening the first responders who had just arrived at the front door. CBS's Tom Hansen.
Body cam footage shows the very moment NYPD officers were blown back by the force of an explosion while responding to a domestic dispute in Queens.
The guy just lit the house on fire. We had an explosion.
Seconds later, those same NYPD officers, some of whom were injured in the blast, rushed in and brought those residents, including several children, to safety.
Not seeing eye to eye on the war with Iran, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and New York Democratic Senator Kirsten Gillibrand. She tells the secretary that the majority of Americans do not support the war.
They are furious, and they expect me to explain to them why they are furious.
And Senator, when I talk to Americans, and especially when I talk to the troops, they are grateful for a president who has the courage to take on this threat after 47 years of what Iran has done, targeting and killing Americans.
The exchange came as Hegseth spent a second day on the Hill defending the Pentagon's record $1.5 trillion budget request. Gas prices are up about 30 cents in 1 week to an average of $4.30 a gallon, but higher in places like California. Oil prices are now around $116 a barrel due to the war with Iran. If you earn less than $35,000 a year, President Trump has signed an executive order clearing the way for retirement accounts, which he says will include federal matching funds of up to $1,000 per year.
In my State of the Union earlier this year, I promised to make the same types of retirement accounts enjoyed by the federal employees available to all Americans. So that's what we're doing.
Spotify is introducing verified artist badges. CBS News tech contributor Ian Scher explains why.
Right now, Spotify seems focused on identifying who is a real-world artist and what is just an AI. But over time, as technology evolves and is increasingly used across industries, it may become harder to distinguish.
This is CBS News.
It's one of the most successful law and justice programs in television history that continues to uncover the truth. 48 Hours, Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Multiple students injured in a stabbing at school. We are live at Foss High in Tacoma after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. Let's start in South Center, where we just cleared our earlier crash, North 405 near the West Valley Highway. Still slow from I-5 through the S-curves, but the backup has thinned down considerably. South Center to Bellevue, still about 25 minutes. Bellevue to Renton, a half hour. We're solid from 520 to the Renton Landing. After Factoria, though, this begins to slowly thin out for you. Bellevue to Everett, an hour, 5 minutes. Seattle to Everett, 55 minutes. Everett to Marysville, we are really struggling today, taking you a half hour to make this drive. That's double the norm because we have a solid backup from 526 all the way to the Marysville Outlet Mall, stemming from an earlier crash that now sits on your right shoulder. Here in Seattle, plan on 40 minutes to get through downtown on northbound I-5. And Tacoma to Olympia, we're pushing an hour at 55 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, continuing coverage.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granello. A stabbing at Foss High School injures 6 people, including the suspects. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch is at the school right now talking with families and joins us live. James.
And the suspect in this student was among the injured, along with 4 other students and a security guard. Tacoma Police Officer Shelby Boyd says they're still waiting to hear the exact nature of the injuries. Meanwhile, parents like Anna Corbin are frustrated.
People don't value life right now anymore.
And according to the kids that were coming out of the school who did see it, it was over a vape battery. And so there's going to be potential loss of life just for a vape battery. It seems so idiotic to me.
And we have unfortunately lost James on a bad connection there, but the fire department did tell us earlier that 4 of the people hurt were in serious condition. It started with some kind of fight at the school at around 1:35 today. Boyd now says the scene is safe. Students are being released and parents can meet their students in the parking lot there at Foss High. King County prosecutors have filed felony assault charges against a Seattle man accused of a random attack in downtown Seattle. The 29-year-old Ahmad Osman is charged with the April 19th assault near 3rd Avenue and Pike Street just before midnight. Court documents say a 77-year-old man was struck without warning, knocked to the ground, and left with a broken arm, broken knee, and a head injury. Prosecutors are requesting $200,000 bail as police now continue to search for a second suspect. Public health data showing youth-involved firearm injuries are down sharply all across King County now. More from KIRO News Radio's Corbin Hake.
Kent Police Chief Rafael Padilla credits street outreach and relentless engagement with at-risk youth.
It's difficult to measure what's been prevented, but I'm confident and I want to attest to this partnership is making real and meaningful difference.
In Kent alone, the county health department says youth-involved firearm injuries dropped 32% since 2023. Corwin Hake, KIRO News Radio.
A couple of big tech execs are being linked to the Seahawks. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg and Apple CEO Tim Cook being named as potential bidders for the franchise that is up for sale. Reaction from Mike Salk from our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports.
But I mean, Zuckerberg and Tim Cook, you're talking about money that nobody can, not many people can rival.
Cook and Zuckerberg are the first names we've heard about since the Hawks announced they were up for sale in February. This is all according to a report from Front Office Sports. Now to your weather update. We are looking at a mix of clouds and sunshine at this hour and highs in the low 70s. We're at 73 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show.
Oh, good. Here
Listener
we go.
introduction line. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, hee-haw here. Trying to pull a rabbit out of a tin hat hole. Hee-haw!
Okay. All right. Okay.
I'm not convinced.
Not convinced of what?
Bringing this back.
Okay, thank you. There we are. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Hee-Haw, for that one. We're going to get James Lynch a better phone. I don't know what he's on. He's on that cricket thing I lent him.
I tell you.
I'm telling you.
It's unfortunate.
Poor Aaron. He's like a year off his life. He's like, oh, we're going to go to James. And it's like...
Let's not dwell on it.
No, let it go. I can see that. I'm not going to poke you. You're fine. You're fine.
Yeah. I know the feeling here.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh, you suffer with me?
No, when we have a guest on.
Oh, I thought, okay. I'm sorry. I'm still upset about the exploding egg incident. Next time we have Katie Wilson on, because we had her on before about a week ago. You weren't here, Joe. You were in Hawaii doing whatever. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And next time she's on, I have to tell her, please stop using the word free. Don't use free. Use taxpayer funded. That'd be much better. Taxpayer funded. I think she says it a bunch of times in here. And she has a message. This is for the millionaires. We have the stuff of her I just sent you because she just gave a speech about.
Right below it.
Where's it below it?
Free lunch.
Yeah. Whoa. It's not free lunch. Where is this one? Hang on. There it is. Yeah, you're good. Okay. Here's Katie giving a speech. Hang on.
We are going to provide free.
It's not free. It's not free. Do you have a beeping or a sound effect of some sort? It's not free, Katie. Katie. Nothing is free. Nothing. Nothing that the government provides is free. So hang on. You ready, Andrew? Here we go. Katie, listen. Here we go. Ready? Katie, before you go out there, remember, don't say free. Say taxpayer funded. Okay, here we go.
We are going to provide free school meals to every student in every school. Beginning this fall, my plan will extend free breakfast and lunch so that every student at every Seattle public school gets nutritious meals and starts the day ready to learn. This means no stigma, no eligibility bubble that squeezes out struggling families just because they miss some threshold set by the federal government. K through 12 education is free and universal, and the basic nutrition that you need to be ready to learn is going to be free and universal too.
God, I mean, 4 in a row? 4 in the whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the people are applauding that. So the average person living in Seattle pays about $8,000 in taxes, and they're going to just include this into the taxes. And this is more of it. And why would you pay for somebody? If I could afford to make my kid a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, why should I ask my neighbor to pay for it? Especially if they don't have any kids. The number of people in Seattle that have school-age kids, very low as a percentage of other cities, pretty much like a lot of big blue cities. But why would you ask somebody else to pay for your kids' lunch? But that's what you get, and people applaud it. The other day, where was she when she said this over at Saddle U or something like this? This is going around. Boy, 250,000 people have already watched this. Katie Wilson, Seattle mayor, socialist/Marxist, when asked about millionaires leaving the state.
I think the claims that millionaires are going to leave our state are like super overblown, and if the ones that leave, like, bye.
What a bunch of seals. Why would you applaud that? Why would you applaud? Okay, bye. Why are they applauding? They're applauding the fact that successful people that employ a lot of people are going to leave. It's like going to a party and the fun people are there. The guy that brought all the shrimp or deviled eggs that Andrew loves or Nate makes, or brings the good booze or the good pot. They leave. That screws up the whole party. And they're applauding. Yeah, go ahead, just leave if you want. It's very kind of a backwards view of who you want in your city.
Yeah, I'd smoke it.
All right, there you go. Think of that. Chris Daniels got a chance to walk and talk with the governor when asked about Starbucks.
Starbucks is an important part of the fabric of our community here in Washington State, to put it mildly.
Governor Bob Ferguson acknowledges after he had multiple personal conversations with Starbucks CEO, the company made the decision to build a new...
You know what I love about Chris Daniels? You can tell it's bad news because as he starts the sentence, he is slowly getting more and more depressed as he gives more. And like I said, I like Chris Daniels. We were friends for a long time, but you can tell we're heading towards a bad final here. Watch this.
Governor Bob Ferguson acknowledges after he had multiple personal conversations with Starbucks CEO, the company made the decision to build a new headquarters in Nashville.
We understand that any business has to do what they feel is best for them, and expanding their footprint around the country. They're not the first company to do that. Starbucks, Meta, Amazon, Microsoft, all cutting jobs in Washington State. Are you concerned about the business climate right now? Of course.
Yet Ferguson blames AI more than a tax for recent events.
A lot of states would love to have our problems in a certain way, but everybody's feeling the impacts of AI and changes that are going on for sure.
Huh. Okay. I looked up to see which cities and which states are doing the best with AI. San Jose's doing really well. Seattle is 23rd on the list of AI progressive establishments and beginning of creating of AI jobs. I forget which one is the worst, but we're 23rd. We're kind of in the middle of the pack for AI investment. And then we're playing the same song over and over again, aren't we, in this jukebox? Because then here's your president of Microsoft going on about...
I'm probably more worried right now about the business climate in Washington than at any point over the last 30 years. Let's be mindful. If other people are paying for jobs to leave and we're taxing them to stay, that will make everything harder.
Okay. So this is the Hindenburg. As I said, it's the Hindenburg on fire, crashing into Titanic. You're going to see this thing. It's happening in slow motion. And for some reason, I do believe that the folks in Olympia must get this. They have to know. If you're sitting down with a CEO of Starbucks and you got the governor sitting down, and I don't know what he was saying to him. I couldn't cut him any deals. Remember the INSEE deal that they cut with Boeing. But this is, don't leave. Please don't go. And then even Microsoft, the same thing. They've all told them the same story. Please don't tax us like this. You're driving us out. And they have to know that it's coming, especially when Moody's says.
A major credit agency has revised Washington's financial outlook from a stable one to a negative. Moody's report taking issue with how lawmakers are balancing the state budget. Although Moody's has not downgraded Washington's AAA bond rating, the warning means the state could be at risk of losing that rating if things continue on this path. If we lose the AAA bond rating, it would raise the cost of borrowing money, and it would create a financial spiral impacting everything from school bonds, taxes, raising the budget deficit, and to our infrastructure projects.
That's a big part of it. I looked up the history of the B&O tax. I wanted to find out about the income tax. Here's what happened. The state of Washington was in dire straits in 1933 because many of the people that were producing any sort of revenue were farmers, and their property was going down. There was very little value in the property. So that's where most of the revenue was coming from. So they thought, what are you going to do? How else could we come up with money? We need some money. So they said, I got an idea. It's just going to be temporary. We'll do it just for a little while. It'll be a business, a B&O tax. We'll call it a B&O tax. We'll fade it out after things get going again. But we are really, really in desperate straits. So we're going to tax let's tax the top part of the revenue. So Mr. Johnson's, shovel company makes $1 million. We're going to tax the top number. And then, of course, by the time Mr. Johnson ends up paying the employees and pays for the utility and pays the rent and pays everything else, cost of goods goes all the way down. And that bottom line is the profit. And after he takes the profit, after he pays off the government, everything, that's what goes in his pocket. But what we'll do, it will tax the first number. So he makes $1 million. We'll grab a piece of that, even though that's really not what he's left with. We're not going to go all the way down to the bottom and grab part of the last piece of it. We'll just throw it on top as a B&O tax. Well, part of the problem was, let's say a company, let's call it Joe's Bicycle. So Joe's Bicycle Company wants to build a bike and sell it for $1,000. They have to buy a gear. And there's a gear company called Andrew's Gear Company. So Andrew is going to sell a $400 gear to Joe's Bike Company, and they're going to pay the $400, right? So Andrew sells the gear, right? But the state of Washington taxes the $400 gear from Andrew, and then it goes over to Joe, and then that gear goes on to Joe's bike. So Joe's bike is also taxed when he sells it for $1,000 to B&O. So the state is making money on the $400 gear as it's coming from Andrew's gear shop, and they're also making money off of the $1,000 that Joe is selling the bike for. So the government is getting two pieces of the one thing that's put together. So every step along the way, they're making money in that B&O tax. And it's really unfair to a business that's running on very thin margins. You make $1 million. By the time you get all the way down to the bottom, whatever you have left, you're 2%, maybe 1.5%. The government doesn't care. The B&O tax comes in and grabs the top number right off the top. And who pays it? The customer pays it. And when a couple of lawmakers said, well, let's put the B&O tax included, because when you get your receipt, okay, there's what I paid, there's the tax, there's the rest of the stuff in there, maybe there's a service charge in there. And somebody said, well, let's put a B&O tax so that people can see the B&O tax. And they said, no, that's it. We're going to make a law against that. We don't want that. We don't want the transparency. It's too confusing. I love that. It's too confusing for people. Like, I get it. I just paid $12 more. They didn't want it on there. We don't want to upset or confuse anybody. So it's illegal in the state of Washington to show what the B&O tax is, but it's a little punch right in the beginning of the production of whatever you're making. Then I thought, okay, what? Dig way into these numbers. Really, I'm totally bored. And I don't have an egg to eat because it blew up in the microwave. In 1933, Washington State was spending $10.33 per person. So the state providing services for the people of Washington, $10.33. All right. In today's dollars, that's $267. So the state, in order for the state to do all the great things it does for you, it costs the state in 1933, in today's dollars, $267. Got that?
Yep.
All right. The state now spends in today's dollars, $9,422 per person. They do such great things for all of us, don't they? $9,422. That's what we get. That's what they spend to provide the great services for us. And then I looked up to see how many workers there were back then per resident. So back in 1933, there was one government worker for every 100 people. Now there's one for every 64. The state of Washington has an incredible amount of workers per residents. In fact, we're somewhere near the top. We really have a whole lot of government workers doing a whole bunch of great stuff for us. And we're paying for it dearly, $9,422 per person in order to provide all those great government workers. And the B&O tax is just a big part of it. They suck that money off the top number. And when you hear anybody like, I guess it was Ferguson or somebody else going on, oh, we're going to give all those businesses a break that are making below $20 million, or you make under $5 million or make under $2 million. Yeah, it's under. If you make under $2 million, we're going to give you a break on the B&O tax. Whoop-de-doo! You know what that number is? So let's say you got a little crappy business. I don't know, you're selling crystals or something like that. You walk in there and there's some woman who's a big heavy sweater, even though it's like 80 degrees outside. And you walk in and they make $200,000. Say they make $250,000 a year. That's their revenue, selling trinkets and crap that you don't even need, right? But you feel guilty when you go in there because the woman's on you like a fly on crap as soon as you walk in the door. Can I help you? And there's a weird jingling doorbell. And so they make $250. You know how much they're giving them a break? Now they have to save $400. $400 because they're not going to have to pay the B&O tax. But they still have to spend $75 to fill out a form to go to the Department of Revenue to show that they got the break on the B&O tax. So they're big deal. Getting all this? And by the way, who pays it? The business doesn't pay it. Oh, we're going to tax corporations. No, you're not. You will tax the consumer. You tax the person. No business pays. Business collects taxes. They pass them on, and we pay them. The average person living in Seattle, the average homeowner pays $8,000 a year, and all your levies and all your other stuff that you think is so great. And every year, just like let's add another $400 or $600 or $200 or whatever it is. Just keep paying it. And then when you think you're going to tax the corporations, of course you don't tax the corporations. And here's where the money comes from. So if you make $200 million revenue, it's a big business to make $200 million. Their taxes were $85,000 B&O tax. Now it's $118,400. But it's not theirs. It's yours. You will pay it. And I wish I had an opportunity. I wish I had an opportunity to grab on these guys and choke them. Like, get Ferguson on the phone and just say, we're going to ask you. This is another thing I heard Peterson say the other day when he was on there at GN or so. We're simply going to ask you to pay more of your fair share. Ask? You're going to ask me? You're going to ask the rich people to pay just a little bit more? What? Okay, Joe, if I were to ask you for something, you could say
yes
or
no.
No, right. We're not asking you. We're simply asking the people that are doing very well to just pay a little bit more. Oh, my God. 34% of all the money you make goes away to some government whatever. And the fact that so much of it is wasted and so much of it is going to so much special interest, it's got to frustrate people. So, I agree with Katie Wilson on this one.
I think the claims that millionaires are going to leave our state are super overblown, and if the ones that leave, bye.
Bye. Take your jobs with you. Take your wealth with you. Take your know-how, your incentive, your creativity that allows you to make the money in the first place. Take it with you. It's portable, and it'll go somewhere else, and it'll be much more appreciated. And who knows? Maybe you'll enjoy life even more. Yeah.
Ooh, you got worked up there, brother.
I should not. Okay, please, because I do need to get back to a regular heartbeat. There.
Nice.
Thank you. I'm better now.
You'll be all right.
Ooh. Here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
Thanks, John. Seattle Sports has our update. Everett to Marysville is a real struggle this afternoon. We've climbed up to 40 minutes as we recover from an earlier crash that happened right in front of the Tulare Resort Casino. That is out of your way, but we're still dealing with this 12-mile solid backup between 526 and 88th Street. Bellevue to Everett, an hour, 10 minutes. Solid backup starting really at 990 there in Bellevue all the way to the Alderwood interchange. Seattle to Everett just hit 1 hour. You're slow from Northgate through Linwood. 40 minutes to get through downtown Seattle on northbound I-5 with the backup starting at the Michigan Curve across the Ship Canal Bridge. Both directions of the downtown tunnel are jam-packed. That southbound 99 backup actually starts prior to the Aurora Bridge. Crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle, plan on a half hour on both 520 and I-90. Seattle to Federal Way, we're approaching 40 minutes. Heavy volume starting near the Boeing Access Road all the way down to 516 before you even catch a break. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And everybody is up, pulling for the big unit to do it with his brand, with his K. 1-2 pitch on the way, swing and a miss, and it's over. And he did it. He put it right on the rump of the old steer and burned her right in there.
It's the Big Unit's big weekend when the Mariners retire Randy Johnson's number 51 at T-Mobile Park. Congratulations, Randy, from a grateful city and the station that broadcasts every Mariners game you ever pitched. KIRO News Radio.
You can't control what's happening in the world. You can't control gas prices or what the market does tomorrow. But you can control whether your retirement is protected when the unexpected hits. That's what Rajiv Nagaich has dedicated his career to helping families do. Not just picking investments, but building one plan that brings your healthcare, housing, legal, and financial decisions together into a single strategy. A strategy designed to keep you out of a nursing home, protect your assets, and keep your family from becoming your unpaid caregivers. If the last weeks have made you uneasy about your future, you need help. Join Rajiv at a free 90-minute seminar this May. You'll see where most plans fall short and how yours doesn't have to.
Register for a free LifePoint Law Retirement Planning Seminar in Puyallup on May 5th, Federal Way on May 6th, Bellevue on May 7th, or Linwood on May 12th. Seminars begin at 6:30 p.m. Space is limited, so sign up at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
Total Wellness at Home is here. Save up to $2,800 on a saltwater hot spring spa and enjoy healthy, relaxing soaks. Save up to $12,000 on an endless pool swim spa for a year-round retreat. These massive savings end April 30th.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical,
there's no beating CM Heating.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi. It's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
Drivers who switch their home and auto with Progressive could save money and time. Other things try to do this, but they really don't. Like the touchscreen at fast food places. It's not like you save time because it takes you longer to use a touchscreen than, I don't know, someone who works there. And another thing, you'd think it would save money because they're not paying a cashier, right? But no, same price. Also, why is there an option to tip? Who am I tipping? Exactly. Anyway, even if you can't save money and time with some things, you could with a Progressive Home and Auto Bundle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo.
I'm feeling traumatized, upset.
Parents at Foss High School in Tacoma today picked up their children early after a stabbing injured multiple people on campus. KIRO 7 TV's Eric Thomas reports the suspect is a student.
4 students and an adult security guard taken to the hospital after that reported stabbing. The suspect also taken into custody and also taken to the hospital. So you have 6 total people involved in this, including the suspect himself.
And KIRO 7 now reporting 4 people that were taken to the hospital in critical condition. They have now been stabilized. Seattle aviation attorney Mark Lindquist has filed a lawsuit against an airline for a passenger injured on their watch. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has details.
Lindquist says the latest lawsuit involves a Delta Airlines international flight from Cancun to Seattle in 2024. After the plane touched down at SEA, fire broke out. As smoke filled the cabin, passengers took the escape chutes, and the 61-year-old woman severely injured her back.
Under the Montreal Convention, which governs international flights such as this, the airline is liable for any accident, even when there isn't negligence or recklessness.
Lindquist says he expects the case to be settled out of court. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Another day, another record at the gas pump. KIRO News Radio's John Rep reports.
Gas prices around the state have never topped $5.57 a gallon before until this morning. AAA Washington has been tracking the steady climb around the state and in the Puget Sound region where we set a record yesterday. The price this morning? Once again, a record breaker locally for regular unleaded $5.77. Some national context, the only states with higher gas prices are Hawaii and California. In California, they've eclipsed the $6 mark. John Rep, KIRO News Radio.
President Trump says let Iran play in the World Cup. He told reporters in the Oval Office today he is on the same page as FIFA President Gianni Infantino.
I said, you do whatever you want. You can have them. You don't have to have them. Probably have a good team. I don't know. Do they have a good team? Do you have any idea?
I have no idea.
Would be hard to believe, actually.
Infantino reiterated today that Iran will compete, including in a match versus Egypt in Seattle that is set for June 26th. Now to the real-time traffic desk. Here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Aaron. Seattle Mariners bring you this update. Everton Marysville, a struggle this afternoon, though we're seeing signs of improvement from our last report, taking you 35 minutes with a solid backup from 526 to 529, and then northbound 529 also packed between Everett and Marysville. Eastbound 2 slows across the trestle. Bellevue to Everett plan on an hour and 10 minutes. Seattle to Everett is an hour. Everett to Seattle coming the other way. 45 minutes. You're crowded through Linwood, and then it gets bumper to bumper in Northgate down to I-90. Crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle, it's a half hour on either 520 and I-90. Bellevue to Renton's at 35 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia just under an hour at 55 minutes. Randy Johnson Number Retirement Ceremony Night presented by T-Mobile is Saturday, May 2nd. Get your tickets at mariners.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Nice day out there. We're seeing a few clouds, but still some sun, a lot of it peeking through, and highs today in the low 70s. We are up to 73 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Spring showers? Yeah, right. More like spring sprinkles, downpours, hailstorms, cold snaps, flooding, and sometimes even a little sun.
Oh.
Spring in Western Washington changes day to day, even hour to hour. That's why you need experts who have decades of experience and the right tools to keep you weather ready.
Yes.
Watch KIRO 7 pinpoint weather forecasts in every newscast.
Yes.
And on the KIRO 7 apps for your phone or TV.
Yes. Thank you, Joe. Thank you. 16 locations. Bucky's Auto Service Center. So spare everybody. I'm worn out from that tax talk. Halfway through that, I was like, I'm not even listening to myself. How is that physically possible?
It is a dead horse at this point.
It is. It's dead. The flies aren't even going near it anymore.
I even promised somebody a couple of days earlier this week when we were talking about it.
Yeah, I was
at
like,
5,
that's it.
I'm like,
Curly's done with that. Well, then stop saying this stuff. Stop saying that lunches are free. Stop doing that to me.
We are going to provide free school meals to every student in every school.
Woo-wee!
Beginning this fall, my plan will
Did your voice sound like it changed?
It did.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Beginning this fall, my plan will extend free breakfast and lunch so that every student at every Seattle public school gets nutritious meals and starts the day ready to learn.
Yeah, right. Okay, whatever. Okay. Buggy's Auto Service Centers, they got 16 locations, been around for 50 years. Take the car to Buggy's. Buggy's Auto Service Center. Regardless of what the weather is, no matter how Joe tries to put you in a bad mood with all that weather talk.
Beautiful out of here.
Very nice. Isn't it weird? We walk out of here at 6 o'clock. We've missed the sunny day. We've been in here since 10 o'clock. But we're employed. That's okay. And we get a chance to do free radio. Free.
Oh.
Missed it. 5 Bothell massage parlors were already raided in a prostitution ring busted earlier this month. But then I guess they thought let's send the fire department in there just to rub some salt in the wound here. Closing 45 businesses because of code violations.
Pierce County Fire Marshal giving the red tag. 45 massage businesses in one day.
Rub and tug, I think they're called.
Including locations in Tacoma, Puyallup, Spanaway, Graham, Parkland, and South Hill. The county cited various fire, life safety, and building violations after community reports of concerns at the inspected businesses.
Yeah, it does seem like a coordinated effort, and yeah, it probably was. They've probably been investigating that for a while.
Matthew Cook is a local resident just off of Pacific Avenue, which was home to 15 temporarily closed.
Who was, by the way, the only guy we could get to talk to us about anything, and he gave us that insight. Ooh. It definitely looked like a coordinated effort. There was a number of vehicles. You can tell when people know they're going to be interviewed and they talk about cops, or they use the word vehicles, not cars. A number of vehicles began to situate themselves around the vicinity.
A perimeter.
The perimeter of the vicinity in a vehicle.
Closed businesses alone.
I did notice, more.
Oh, back to this guy. Whew. Or somebody else there on the Pacific Highway.
Or massage parlors, then it seemed like maybe the population needs.
Inspectors noted violations at the massage parlors.
A lot of people
very uptight.
I got back investigating that for a while.
Matthew Cook is a local resident just off of Pacific Avenue, which was home to 15 temporarily closed businesses alone.
I did notice, more massage parlors than it seemed like maybe the population needs.
Inspectors noted violations at...
What was that sound?
A motorcycle?
Oh, I thought it was him just trying to get out of there.
At the massage parlors, such as operating without a valid certificate of occupancy, using businesses as unauthorized dwelling units, improper use of cooking or heating equipment in non-approved areas, blocked or obstructed emergency exits, illegal wiring, plumbing or mechanical infrastructure, and more. NB Spa Massage was one of those that was temporarily closed. A next-door business and a homeowner said it was a quiet place and that people had to knock to be let in, and it wasn't often that busy.
Oh, my God. You're coming home from something. It's 1:30 in the morning. You're driving down some road, and there's that little light on, open. Yeah. God, I got this crink in my neck. I wonder, like 1:30 in the morning. I hope there's somebody in there that's like 5 feet 3 inches tall, doesn't speak a word of English. Help me out a little bit. Oh my God. My buddy Ty, we're gonna get him on at some point. So he used to do a whole bunch of undercover work in Seattle. He does undercover work across the world, breaking up the sex trade industry. And they've got a nonprofit. If a city can't afford, because it is costly to have a bunch of cops go in, do all the vice work, his nonprofit, which are all a bunch of other previous cops and stuff, they will go in and they'll say, okay, what do you want us to hit? And they go in there and just, set them all up, go get them, wipe them out. But these guys, once you knock one out, they just pop back up again. Because we would close one, and then 2 days later, they pop back up, and they're somewhere else, no matter what you do. You try to rub one out, it just comes right back again. What?
Oh, nothing.
Here's the sad, horrible part of the story. They advertise in China and in other parts of Asia that you come here to the United States and we've got a job for you and you could do this and do this and this, right? You come into the United States, you come in, they take your passport, they don't give you your passport, and then they say, we flew you here. Let's say if they do pay to bring you in, they pay for your visa and stuff, then you owe them. And now you've got a big bill, $5,000. You got to pay that off. And we're also going to put you up. You're going to stay in some crappy cot in the back of this crappy little spot, and you're going to have to do this stuff. And too bad, so sad. But until you pay off the $5,000, whatever it is that you owe us for the fact that you've come in, we have you basically as an indentured servant for a bunch of gross guys that are driving down the highway. And that is the terrible life that these women are trapped in. And that's the story. And it's run by a giant syndicate, I don't know, mob or whatever they are. And they've got them all over. There's like a couple of big ones that basically control all of them. They're all like almost little franchises. Yep. And that's the story. And the city tries to close them up, and they just pop back up somewhere else. They go somewhere else. They're here, there, and there it is. It's terrible. Again, as a libertarian, you could argue whether or not you legalize it, then you reduce the black market, you license it. People that want to be involved in the exchange of, this for that, then they're in it. And it would be, I think, most neighborhoods don't want it. But again, if you want to eliminate the pain, the suffering, the indentured servant, the suffering and the abuse that can go with it, then you legalize it and you open it up so that the market is available. And there's licensing and taxing and all the rest of the stuff that goes with it.
I wish I knew a libertarian. I would ask his opinion on this.
I.e. Amsterdam or Thailand or is Vietnam's legal or not? But yeah, that's, to me, you want to eliminate the problems. What are the problems? Then legalize it, and make sure you don't tax it so much that there is not still a black market, right?
Haven't seemed to learn that lesson yet.
No, tax that marijuana. All right, here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
Lake Washington Windows and Doors has the update. Everett to Marysville slowly improving. We're down to a half hour at the worst here. We were up at a 40-minute commute from an earlier collision. That has since cleared, so we're still packed from 526 to 529 at Highway 2 there. This really jams up for you. Northbound 529 also packed between Everett and Marysville. Bellevue to Everett, an hour, 10 minutes. Seattle to Everett is a solid hour. Everett to Seattle is a 45-minute drive. Now, you're slow through Linwood, but then it gets really thick from Northgate to I-90. Seattle to Federal Way, plan on 35 minutes. It's packed from MLK Junior Way all the way down to 516. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, just under 40 minutes. Scattered backups between Renton through Kent, and then heavy from State Route 18 into Sumner. Both directions of Highway 99 through Seattle are jam-packed through that downtown tunnel. The southbound 99 backup actually starts at the north end of the Aurora Bridge. Get 20% off energy-efficient windows and doors, plus $1,000 off complete home installs through today. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
For many people, tax return is something that you file, big sigh of relief, and then you move on until next year. The document has already sort of happened, and it reveals opportunities that you may not be seeing. Now, So often they say that CPAs, they look in their rearview mirror, they document the past, while financial advisors, well, they look through the windshield and focus on the road ahead. When those perspectives are aligned, your individual financial plan can be shaped with greater clarity. And on Tuesday, Madrona is hosting a free tax return treasure hunt seminar coming up at Kirkland at 6:30. This is going to be bringing your tax return. All the uncovered opportunities are going to be available to you. And Madrona Financial and CPAs and the CPA advisors work together to review your tax return and savings opportunities that complement your investment strategies. Now, the seats for these seminars go very fast. I had a guy call in and go, he goes, I just heard you say it and there's no more seats. I told you, they go very fast. So MadronaFinancial.com/events, 833-673-7373. Madrona Financial, 833-673-7373.
Hi, I'm Charlie Hart.
And I'm Amanda Factor. Will we set another all-time record overnight?
We'll have the latest on how the war in Iran is affecting the price at the pump.
Mariners back home after a very successful road trip back to 500.
And Rick Riz joins us with a preview of the series against the Royals.
Paul Holden has your weekend planner.
And Sully with traffic every 10 minutes.
Join us tomorrow, 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from Nunn Better Tax Resolution. So, Greg, not all tax resolution companies are the same. There are some that are definitely not local. There are others that don't quite know what they're doing even.
Well, I tell you, these ads that all of us hear, Fresh Start program, they make you feel like, hey, man, I can just easy peasy get my taxes written off. No. And I've had several clients actually come to me after going through that process, and they just get no response after a while. They're passed around from person to person. That doesn't happen at my firm.
You are familiar with the cases that come in. You're working on them.
I'm familiar with every case that comes into our office. And I know what's going on and have the ability to really advise our taxpayers very well on what to do.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. Nunn Better Tax Resolution, from stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN. Nunn Better Tax Resolution.
Get out in the sun, get your hands in the soil. A little gardening goes a long way. Hi, I'm Sarah from Sky Nursery in Shoreline. April is a great time to grow your connection to nature. Whether it's native fir trees in your backyard, a thriving patch of flowers, or a walk through your local arboretum. Whatever your adventure, there is something beautiful to discover. Our purpose at Sky Nursery is to support you on your gardening journey with quality plants, supplies, and local knowledge. Celebrate Earth Day, Arbor Day, and Native Plant Month with Sky Nursery. Garden tips and info at skynursery.com.
Looking for lumber with a story? Then you've got to check out the new Earthwise Salvage Lumber Warehouse in Soto. Be the first to get your hands on reclaimed lumber with original character and local history. Their warehouse is packed with new inventory now. But when this wood is gone, it's gone. So act fast. Come visit the Salvage Lumber Warehouse for the grand opening on May 2nd from 11 to 3 in Soto. And remember, this lumber is harvested from structures, not forests. Find them at ewsalvage.com.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy. Pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go? low?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask like 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
We're facing an uncertain time when support for nonprofits is in danger. Now is the time to show up for them. Whether you give a little or a lot, every donation creates big change. Donate to nonprofits during Give Big on May 5th at waggives.org. It's up to us.
At Guardian Roofing Gutters and Insulation, we stand by our quality gutters. Whether you need a cleaning or a complete gutter install, we do it all. Call today and get $250 off a gutter installation. And visit us at guardianroofing.com.
You want a hippopotamus? Can you buy them? You need a place to put them? Back in 1980, Colombia drug lord Pablo Escobar imported just 4 of these big boys. But now, then nobody seemed to care about him. He's out of there, and 4 have turned into 170.
Colombia is the only country outside of Africa with a wild hippopotamus population. And this week, the government has decided it can no longer ignore what Pablo Escobar started. These hippos are the descendants of the 4 brought into the country in the 1980s by Escobar. Escobar was killed in 1993, but the hippos stayed. And they bred. By 2022, it was estimated that around 170 hippos were roaming freely in the country.
Okay.
And they have since spread further.
Well, they're all like interrelated.
Well,
oof. Ooh, that's sad. Passing on bad hippo genes to the next one.
Colombia has declared them an invasive species, and experts have said that sterilization alone is not enough to control the growth of the animals. So now, authorities have decided to cull them.
Oh, culling them. Yeah, not a good idea. I mean, that's what you have to do. You know, in 1910, the United States was going to bring hippos in. They were going to put them in Florida to eat invasive plants. And then once they did that, then they were going to slaughter them for meat. And they were going to be known as Lake Cow Bacon. And Teddy Roosevelt was all in on it. He's like, yeah, it missed by 1 vote. And then World War I got started. And then they're like, oh, they didn't care about the hippos anymore.
Dang.
Without that action, it is impossible to control the population, and as we already saw in the estimates, it would mean that by 2030, we will have at least 500 hippos affecting our ecosystems and impacting our native species. It is out of responsibility toward our ecosystems that we must take these actions.
Animal rights activists condemn the plan as cruel, arguing that these animals are victims of government negligence, not threats deserving death.
Okay, but what are you going to do? If you can't, why can't they sterilize any of them? Who knows? But they'll end up, if we don't, we have 1,000 by 2050.
That's
and
right.
Then by 2021, they would have, 2,600? And then like another 300, then they're taking over the world. By the way, I think when they're on land, don't they sweat blood? Check that one out. I think they do.
I don't know, but the good news is
go to the good news.
There's a billionaire in India who wants to buy 80 of them.
Just 80.
He wants to save just 80. Yeah, the rest will still have to be culled. But you know.
Of all the animals that you could possibly be getting from Africa, I think it's the least fun one.
Oh, but when they're babies, they're so cute.
Oh yeah, but all babies are cute. That's
true.
Except for these ones, they're all inbred.
Which one would you get? Which one would you get?
Of an animal,
Yeah.
of something from Africa?
Yeah.
I'm just still a big, huge fan of Siegfried and Roy. I know that the tiger cat, he was concerned for Roy.
They don't live in Africa.
He was coming from Roy. What's that?
Tigers don't live in Africa.
A monkey, then. I go for a monkey.
I don't even think there's that many monkeys in Africa.
Well, that's obviously they're
lion,
very popular.
Giraffe. Let's see, a hyena.
What are you showing off for? Your
Your
knowledge of African animals, all of a sudden you're trumping me. Like, yeah, they don't. Good luck finding a tiger. They don't have tigers there.
I'm just sparing you the ridicule that will naturally come on the text line.
Thank you. Oh, can I have it? Higher, Nate, higher.
Rains down in Africa.
Here's Nate doing traffic in falsetto. Oh, I forgot about your face. Come on, Nate.
Bellevue to Everett and hour 10. Seattle to Everett, 1 hour. South 5 into Seattle. We're packed from Northgate to I-90. Linwood to Seattle, 35 minutes. North 5, it is heavy from the Michigan Curve to the Ship Canal Bridge. 45 minutes just to get through this. Bellevue to Renton's a half-hour commute. You're actually going to start to slow near Northeast 60th in Kirkland all the way to the Renton Landing, and you're just barely moving from 520 to Coal Creek. North 405 slows from South Center through the Renton S-curves. In JBLM, North 5 is packed at Murray Road up to 512, a 4-mile backup here, and Tacoma to Olympia is at 55 minutes. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO News Radio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising. After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the Warehouse Club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know! Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Insulation rebates from PSE are at historic highs. American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $3 million in PSE insulation rebates last year, more than any contractor in Washington. Homeowners, business owners, and PSE trust American Crawl Space and Pest Services. Was your home built before 1990? Visit AmericanCrawl.com to see how much you can save on replacing your insulation.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. Northwest News.
Hey there, Dawn Riling with Olympic Hot Tub. We're here to help you achieve total wellness at home. Right now, save up to $2,800 on a saltwater hot spring spa for fabulous healthy soaks. Or save up to $12,000 on an endless pool swim spa and turn your backyard into a year-round swim oasis. These massive savings end April 30th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub. A rising blast, left field, grand slam, Rosarena.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But for a truly elevated experience, you've got to be in a Mariner Suite. A suite is the perfect spot to get your game and celebration on. Birthday, promotion, engagement, company team building that actually team builds. No matter your event, we've got a suite you'll love. Group suites can fit 30 to 400 people for big-time bashes. And private suites offer just that, an upscale experience for more intimate gatherings. All Mariner Suites offer an incredible view of the ballpark, so you can't go wrong. Plus, you and your guests will enjoy premium catering, VIP parking, private Skybridge entry, and more. And season ticket members get 15% off. Reserve your suite today at mariners.com/suites.
Bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor. Holy smokes, the Mariners have the lead.
Mariners baseball, Trident's up.
Have something to say? We'd love to hear it. Text KIRO News Radio at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Let's talk about your hair. Well,
maybe after we talk about my hair. I've got great hair, as you know, and it's because of Advanced Hair. Yep, Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actual science. Advanced Hair has top-rated physicians, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and $250 free hair grafts. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you, guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour. Your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. If you got stuck in the long lines at airport security checkpoints because of the partial government shutdown, well, it's over. President Trump has signed a bill funding the Department of Homeland Security, and as CBS's Nicole Killian points out,
the reality is that this ended in the blink of an eye, and really if you weren't paying attention to the House floor, you would have missed this entire vote happening because there wasn't a regular vote where you normally see that tally of lawmakers. Instead, this was done by a simple voice vote. Boom, boom, done. We looked up and the Department of Homeland Security was magically funded.
76 days after the shutdown kicked in. The Trump administration had warned that temporary funds to pay TSA and other personnel would soon run out if Congress failed to act. Congress has also approved an extension of a key U.S. surveillance program. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
The program was set to expire on Friday. In approving its extension, new oversight measures were added, including a monthly civil liberties review. But lawmakers stopped short of adding a requirement for warrants. Speaker Mike Johnson said 2/3 of the president's daily national security briefing comes from intelligence collected by the statute, and it couldn't go dark. But it faces an uncertain future in the Senate.
Police in Tacoma, Washington report at least 5 people have been injured in a possible stabbing at a high school. CBS's Carter Evans with details.
They're looking for any social media video that may have captured it. Our affiliate is reporting that this all may have stemmed from an argument over a vape pen.
The suspect, a student, was detained at the scene. The voyage home has been authorized for the American aircraft carrier, the USS Ford, after an unusually long time at sea. Details from CBS News military consultant Jeff McCausland.
The Ford and its crew have been involved not only in the ongoing war with Iran, but also an extended patrol in the Mediterranean following a return to the Caribbean to conduct interdiction operations against alleged drug boats from Venezuela and the subsequent operation to remove its Nicolas Maduro.
Britney Spears has been charged with a misdemeanor DUI in California.
The Ventura County DA's office making it official. Britney Spears charged with driving under the influence of drugs and alcohol after that incident in March, where California Highway Patrol pulled over Spears, who was reported to be driving erratically and speeding on the 101. She underwent a field sobriety test and was arrested. The misdemeanor charge comes after she voluntarily checked herself into a treatment facility. She'll be arraigned this coming Monday. Matt Wolf, CBS News.
The criminal complaint did not specify the type of drugs involved. This is CBS News.
The stars shine brighter on CBS Morning.
This is a slam dunk.
So cute.
Gail came in singing for me today.
On CBS Mornings.
Coming up, we have brand new details on that stabbing at Foss High School in Tacoma. But first, Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
And this one's brought to us by your KIRO Newsradio app. All right, Bellevue to Everett, an hour and 10-minute commute right now. We've got a solid backup at 520 there in Kirkland, all the way to the Alderwood interchange, and then you'll hook into the northbound I-5 backup. Seattle to Everett is 1 hour. You're slow from Northgate through Linwood. And once you get into Everett, North 5, we're still heavy from 526 all the way up to 529. Plan on 25 minutes to get through this backup. Southbound I-5 heading into Seattle is solid from Northgate to I-90. Linwood to Seattle is a half-hour commute. North 5 packed at the Michigan Curve to the Ship Canal Bridge. 45 minutes to get through this. Crossing the lake between Bellevue and Seattle, it's a half hour on both routes. Bellevue to Renton's at a half hour. In JBLM, North 5 is heavy from Murray Road up to 512, about a 4-mile backup here. As far as I can see, this is just volume. And Tacoma to Olympia, 55 minutes. You've got a thick backup through JBLM, another backup between Lacey and Olympia. Text the app to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. We have just learned that all 6 people involved in a stabbing at Foss High School in Tacoma will survive. Shelby Boyd with the Tacoma Police Department says that stabbing call came in at around 1:30 this afternoon.
Situations like this are of the utmost priority. So when the call goes out, we all hear it, and every single cop is on their way.
Boyd says the suspect, a student, is now in custody after he was taken to a hospital. This parent tells KIRO 7 TV she has 2 students at Foss High.
Very traumatizing for them, and the fact that this is going on inside of their school where they're supposed to be safe, where all the kids are supposed to be safe, it's not okay.
Police say the victims include 4 students and an adult security guard. They were all treated at hospitals and again will survive. We are still working to confirm what led up to this stabbing, but as you heard from CBS News, witnesses now saying this may have all started with a fight over a vape pen. 29-year-old man faces a felony assault charge in a violent attack on a 77-year-old man in downtown Seattle. Prosecutors say Ahmad Osman knocked that man to the ground near 3rd and Pike back on April 19th. Casey McNerthany with the King County Prosecutor's Office says the victim suffered a broken arm, broken knee, and a gash to his forehead.
When you break a bone as a young person, it hurts and it takes a long time to recover. When you're 77, even in great shape, it's a lot harder.
The prosecutor is now asking that bail be set at $200,000. Police are still looking for a second suspect. A couple of big tech moguls say they are not interested in buying the Seahawks now. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg and Apple CEO Tim Cook denying a report that named them as potential bidders. Meta spokesperson told Bloomberg that Zuckerberg is not making an offer, and a person familiar with Cook also denied his involvements. Seahawks are for sale, but so far no potential buyers have been confirmed. For your forecast now tonight, looking at calm conditions and mostly clear skies. A bit more cloudy for tomorrow with highs in the low 70s again. Right now, 72 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
See, I'm not triggered ever. My nervous system, it's all regulated.
This guy. Please. All right, here we go with the John Curley Show. Don't forget, you are a big part of it. Heck, if you weren't there, we wouldn't be here. It's a vicious circle of love. 1-888-973-5476. That's a good name for a band.
What is? Vicious Circle?
No, 1-888-973-5476. Down again. All right. From the Fighting 7th. Yeah, 7th District. By the way, Bob Kettle, Joe, who's in your district, he is taking credit for you being elected.
As he should.
See?
He's a key ingredient for my success. Thank you, Joe.
I got you your first interview, didn't I?
Yes.
That's right.
Kettle, I have to tell you, you have improved marketably from other times I saw you when you first started this business. I remember talking to you the first time. He's a little reserved and stuff. I brought the Navy in your past stuff. Now I watch you. I'm like, Kettle has really sharpened his skills. Yes. First of all, you look great. You got that beard and you got the sweater on. I trust you. I don't know what you're selling, but I love it.
Yeah, thank you, John. I just need to work on top. I need some of that. Advanced hair restoration.
Believe me, they could retire on you, Bob. All right, let's get to some solid numbers here. First of all, just so everybody knows, and they vary all the time, point in time numbers. So I look at 2015. This is before you got in there and started making some changes. When they declared it was an emergency, it was like 10,000 homeless, something like that. Sad, terrible stories each, I'm sure. And then it went up to 16,000. So then it's at 16,000, and the numbers keep going up, and the amount of money keeps going up. So Bob Kettle, here's the question for you. It seems to me like we are funding homelessness, that people are coming from other places to Seattle, and we are paying for it. Am I wrong?
In part, you're right, John. And when I say that and this is something that we need to acknowledge, and this is why I made my statement that we have a regional homelessness problem on our streets of Seattle. And we need to acknowledge that, because if we don't acknowledge the basic facts on the ground in terms of like who's here and who's not, we cannot, get an answer to the question. We cannot move forward. And that's why we have to, address that point. And, it's simple, really, it's kind of like tax and fiscal policy, the regulatory arbitrage with, Bellevue and the other side.
Yeah.
Well, we have the same thing with all the other jurisdictions in our jurisdictions. And so basically it creates a situation where we have people coming to Seattle. We have Seattle on the streets too, but we need to address this problem, and we need that support. We need that because it is a regional problem on our streets of Seattle. So you touched on a very important point there.
I read an article a number of years ago in the Washington Post. I forget who the mayor was at the time. She might be the same mayor. And she said, in D.C., I don't want our taxpayers of D.C. to pay for the homeless of Virginia. And I don't, because the D.C.'s, stuck right in the middle. And I don't want the homeless of Maryland coming into D.C. and getting the funds that our taxpayers are paying for, our services our taxpayers are paying for. And she was trying to come up with some way of saying, no, if you're from Virginia, Virginia people take care of your Virginia homeless. The same thing with Maryland. And she tried a bunch of different things. None of that ever got it started. But I really commend the fact that the people of Seattle, if you're homeless and you're in Seattle and you became homeless for whatever reason, we're going to try to help you. But if you're coming from California, you're coming from Nevada, Arizona, Colorado, that's a problem that came from there. You can't ask the people of Seattle to continue to pay. And I remember reading some different, it's only 10% or 12%. No, I don't believe that. You may be homeless, but you're not dumb. If you get somebody to provide some services for you, you're going to go to where those services are. I spoke to a young man, Bob. I'll tell you the story very quickly. He got his wisdom teeth taken out. He was employed. He lived in Boise, Idaho, got his teeth taken out, got stuck on that oxy. Horrible story. It's happened thousands, if not millions of times. He then gets addicted to it. And his friends say, hey, listen, you can't afford the oxy anymore. You should go to Seattle because you can get the drugs there. It's really cheap. And, you can be homeless and no one's going to bother you. Bob, the guy was 24 years old. I watched as the cops pulled him out from underneath a men's stall at a restaurant by the ankles. The needle was still in his arm. And when they kind of got him to and talked to him, I talked to him while he was standing on the street corner. That was his story. And I'm sure this is not, a rare story. Go to Seattle, the drugs are cheap, and no one's going to hassle you. That's the word in Boise, Bob.
That's, we have all our examples of that. I was on Larry with, a street level team, and there was a young couple. They were in distress, and they're like, what do we got ourselves into? Because maybe they didn't want to be hassled where they come from, which was based on the plates of their car, Montana. And, and so it's these combinations. And so we have to acknowledge that point, John, and then work that point. And that's what we're not doing because we're not acknowledging. And I think it's really important to have a upfront discussion. I say, hey, let's do the compassion, let's help. But if you don't acknowledge the various pieces of it, we can never really get a proper solution. And then 10 years from now, we'll say, well, it's been 20 years since Mayor Murray, announced the crisis.
Right.
And so this is where we are.
I'm going to play a cut. This is your constituent over here who apparently got you elected. This is Bob calling for a special session. Sounding the alarm. Here you go, Bob.
We'll start with a chair comment focused on the recent article in the Seattle Times talking about Little Saigon with a title that gets to the point immediately. The title of it is Amid Seattle's Neglect. It's focused on neighborhoods and the people who live there. and business trying to survive there. Starting with the stat of 518 drug-related incidents across the city over the past month. At that point, it should be noted that this number could be reached in a single night, definitely over a weekend, in most of the impacted neighborhoods, like 12th Jackson and King, 3rd Pike and Pine, 3rd and Blanchard, 2nd and Lenora. These neighborhoods are impacted all across 7 districts, and they're all well known. And so is the point that once you have a drug market, then you also have a stolen goods market and more.
Yep.
It's becoming an embarrassment for the city, says Ms. Tanya Nguyen, and it is.
It is. Danny West Needs Peace really hit home with you, Bob, for you to be able to read it there in the meeting. What was the reaction after when the rest of the council members get together? Do you sense that you're getting some momentum, that you're getting some people to realize we have to address the whole problem? And it starts with what?
With, being in community, John. Yeah, most of my colleagues, we've been on the streets for so long. We have all these stories, but, with our new colleagues and our new mayor, it's being in community and hearing directly from the voices of those concerned. Because, for example, the mayor during the course of her campaign was hearing that nobody wants cameras. Everybody's against it.
Yeah.
But after the shooting in Rainier Beach, when she was down there and she was meeting with community, she was meeting with the families. Next thing you know, they were saying, hey, we need cameras. What are you doing? And this just happened with Yesler. I was interviewed yesterday, and the reporter was in Yesler Community Center area. And again and again and again, he's asking, hey, do you want cameras? Do you need technology? And they said yes.
Yeah.
And so it's about being on the ground again, understand the true facts, and not listening to those who may have a ideological bent or, trying to push a certain narrative.
Right.
Because it has to be on the ground, has to be talking to the families impacted. And that's what happened in Rainier Beach, for example.
Yeah.
The same thing's happening in North Beacon Hill right now. North Beacon Hill, wow. We haven't been saying North Beacon Hill over the years, but we're saying it now because of what's happening with Little Saigon and the CID more generally.
Right, because what happened was when Bruce Harrell was in there and they just said, oh, we're going to move people from the Blade. They're going to take them off 3rd. I have a bunch of cops. They're friends of mine. And a little bit of, gallows humor. They were taking bets on where they would move. And the winning bet was the International District. They're going to push them down there, and that's what happened. And you walk around down there, it is you feel like you're in a third world. I've been to Calcutta, India, and I tell you something, it's shocking, and it's so unfortunate. There were men and women that English is a second language to them. They don't want to go out at 8 o'clock at night. They're not. They are imprisoned in their home because to walk outside in the dark, they're taking their life into their own hands. You know that. And then when you heard this guy speak, were you there at the city council meeting when this guy, Corey, got up and spoke? Bob, did you hear him?
Yes. Well, the last thing you hear about it is you hear that last thank you. That's my voice.
My name's Corey Ratliff. I am a drug addict and homeless. And I just want to speak on the fact that it took me 45 days in jail to finally get my mind right, and hold myself accountable. Before that, I was in the streets all the way from Aurora to Tacoma, and I was being enabled from the city with free pipes, free foil, free housing, places that police can't really come in and do anything about. So now we're encouraging and enabling a drug addict and a homeless to be comfortable in that situation. That does not help the situation. What helps the situation is to hold us accountable. If we're slipping in the streets and we're selling dope or we're pimping or we're doing anything that's against the law, hold me accountable, arrest me. Don't give me a slap on the wrist, don't let me go. You know what I'm saying? That time in jail is enough time for me to think, take accountability for what I did, understand that I need to change things, get out, get into places like Hope and Chance or Battlefield for Addiction, start going to work, things like that. These sober living programs are the answer. It was for me. And I still have an older brother who's still actively in addiction, who has no thought whatsoever of getting out of that situation because tiny home villages, housing projects, everything there is comfortable to be homeless and a drug addict. 10 years ago, I couldn't do that. And these days it's so easy to be a drug addict and you're accepted in the city because it's okay. And we're just putting them into a building off the street. So now the city is thinking that it's not a problem anymore. No, it's still an issue. It's not being handled correctly. And I think the best way to do that is hold me accountable. Thank you.
Thank you.
There you go. I mean, that's it. End of meeting, right? Were you getting a lot of nods? Did you hear anything after? Because that guy, there it is. There's the truth. That man's living it, right?
One of the things that, like I said at the beginning, there's an acknowledgement now that wasn't happening years ago that we have a regional problem on our streets of Seattle. But there's also acknowledgement now too that, we have, being in jail may be that opportunity for someone to get better, someone to make that step. And I do believe in compassion, helping those individuals in crisis, our neighbors in crisis, and getting some housing. But the point that he's talking to is, in terms of that calculus, in terms of that making that decision to go for treatment, to make that attempt, that calculus is impacted by those that do the enabling. I'm in District 7. Next thing you know it, in Kinnear Park, the West Queen Anne Greenbelt, people are popping up tents, high-end tents, and sleeping bags. So in February, when we had that one little bit of a snowstorm, everybody that was engaged declined to come into shelter because they've been enabled, if you will, by the tents and so forth. So the calculus of their decision is being impacted by what is happening here, which is unfortunate because if we weren't doing that, if we were leaning forward towards moving people into treatment and had less of that happening, the calculus as people go through this, they may make that decision for treatment, and it may take a number of treatments to get there, but they would make that earlier. But unfortunately, that decision calculus is being impacted by these different measures that groups do, and sometimes the government too, that impact this process. So yes, I believe in housing, I believe in wraparound services, but a major factor that he's talking about is this enabling piece. And then the other point made too is that one factor could be jail. For some people, jail is what gets them to that path forward. And we should acknowledge that.
Are you watching what they're doing in San Francisco?
Yes, I am. By the way, I love Mayor Lurie. And we're also looking at Philadelphia. There's some cities where
Philly's doing really well. Yeah. So, okay, if Bob Kettle were in charge, I know Seattle doesn't want any kings, so I'll make you king for a moment there, Bob Kettle in the 7th District. Two cops walk up. There's a guy smoking drugs in the tent. What do you want to see happen? They engage, bang, there we are. They even know the guy's name because these cops are so used to, they know who exactly, hey, Ricky, what's going on? You're smoking dope, you're smoking fentanyl, where you got a bunch of stuff. They test it. They, shake him down. He's got some more drugs in his pocket. He's got a bunch of money. Maybe he's got a weapon. Maybe he doesn't. Let's say no weapon. I got to include that. Okay, what happens now, Bob?
We need to move away from what's been happening thus far.
I know.
Too often, for different reasons, we've had to do nothing or, to move along or let be.
Yeah.
And we can't have that. And there's different factors that play into that. The officers probably told you about medical declines and so forth. And there's a lot of factors that go into it. But a big issue, John, is the lack of clarity and alignment with our ordinances. So there's 2 ordinances that I'm looking at right now. And what I want to get to is the point where those officers make their decision post-arrest to, divert for those that seem, that should be diverted into services. But then for those that need to go to jail, they go to jail. And so we need to have that clarity because what's happened is we don't have it. And this kind of goes to the point that I made in that chair comment that you referenced earlier, that Seattle is of 2 minds. We kind of get caught between, 2 approaches and we get paralyzed by it. There's a certain parallelism that comes from it, and or groups acting in opposition that basically cancel each other out, and we don't make the progress. So we need to clean up these laws. We need to bring clarity, and we need to align. We need SPD to do its piece, and then the alternative response pieces like CARE, maybe some element of fire, like the health ones, or or maybe even some pieces of SPD like the CSOs, do their part. And that's unfortunately is not what's happening. And so, to your example, particularly if there's additional pieces in there, it should be jail. But if I trust the officers in terms of, because you're right, they're on the ground. They know if this person is somebody who's not creating other issues or has not done other things that warrant like co-occurring crimes, and basically it's a substance use disorder, it's an addiction problem, that officer should look to do the diversion piece. But here's the thing is, if it's not falling in that thing, if there's co-occurring crimes, if he's up market, if he's part of the drug market, then he needs to, that arrest needs to be made. And in that process, we may open up opportunities to move forward with that individual.
Bob, you know what the cops say about that diversion stuff? It's a joke. It's a joke, total joke. And if you leave it up to the discretion of the officer, cut and dry. The guy's smoking dope. You find dope on him. You grab him. You pick him up. You arrest him. You put him in the car. You take him downtown, and you immediately, no diversion. You're going to get medical assistance for this guy because he's going to go through about 6 or 7 sick days. Really horrible stuff. He's got to detox off the stuff, and then he has to go to some sort of additional help for his addiction. But putting him in a tiny house, as I always say, Bob, and you can use this at a city council meeting. You don't have to credit me with this. That if I found out that Bob Kettle had cancer, and I said, Bob, we're going to put you in a room. We're going to put you in a really nice room. You're going to be in a room. You're going to have a bed. And you're going to go, okay, now what? And we're going to check on you maybe every 2 weeks. Well, shouldn't I be getting chemo? You want to give some sort of medicine? Should I be getting something? You just diagnosed me with cancer and I'm in a hotel room? You would, and by the way, yeah, you stay in the hotel room. You walk outside the hotel room. There's other sick people as well. But Bob's like, where's the doctor? When do I see a doctor? Because that's what you do. Not you specifically, but that's what the city does. Oh, you're sick. You're addicted. That's a sickness. We're going to put you in a tiny house. If that person had cancer, it makes zero sense. Zero sense, Bob.
That's a big issue, and it's being addressed in some areas. Like we had what we call Salmon Bay Village. It was one of those RV tiny homes.
Yep.
And what the thing is, they came in and they were told this RV's done, but there's this emotional attachment, and there was counselors that were working, so they weren't being left alone for 2 weeks.
Right.
And then they were taking the rules internal, and then they had security pieces to this,
right?
Entry control points. And then they moved forward from the RV to a tiny home village.
Okay.
And because of that counseling and everything, and here's the thing on that point, John.
Yeah.
Next thing you know it, on the very streets of Queen Anne, and on the other side in Ballard and so forth, Interbay, the number of RVs that were on the streets dropped considerably.
Right.
And those that remained were in better condition. So we were getting a lot of RVs because the issue with once you have 5 RVs, one of them selling drugs. Once you have a drug market, as you heard me earlier,
you're going to
get
a
stolen goods market.
You got more.
So your point is we have to have that direct engagement and in those circumstances. So, yes, I hear what you're saying.
Bob Kettle, keep up the good work. It'll be a long battle for you. Hopefully we see some salvation at the other end. District 7 council member, thanks for joining us. Here's Nate in traffic. Nate.
Thanks, John. The Puyallup RV Show has our update. We're still busy out there, man. Bellevue to Everett is down to 1 hour. It's solid from Kirkland to the Alderwood interchange. Seattle to Everett hanging on at 1 hour. You're still slow from Northgate through Linwood. Everett to Marysville, we're down to 20 minutes, so we are improving up there, but it's still crowded from 526 to 529. South 5 into Seattle, we're packed at Northgate to I-90. Linwood to Seattle has gone up to 35 minutes because we still have a backup there in Linwood. North 5 is still heavy from the Michigan Curve to the Ship Canal Bridge. 45 minutes to get you through downtown Seattle. Both directions of the downtown tunnel remain packed. Crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle, 35 minutes on 520 now. We're down to 25 minutes on I-90. And Seattle to Federal Way, we're down to 25 minutes. Still scattered backups from Interurban Avenue down to 516. The Puyallup RV Show now through Sunday. Shop hundreds of new and used RVs, manufactured homes, and get show-only prices. There's also free parking. Tickets at PuyallupRVShow.com. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate Connors. Some parts of the house they don't seem to work. Like the closet that's downstairs when you walk in the front door, it doesn't work because you can't put anything in it. You can't find anything. And you go into the garage, you don't even want to go in there because there's just stuff everywhere. There's no place to store it. And the same thing can happen with the home office, stuff all over the floor, the entertainment center, stuff on the floor, the mudroom, forget about the mudroom. But if the house were functioning correctly, you know what the problem is? It's just storage. It's just cabinets, but not just any cabinets, but the cabinets that are custom designed by Closets by Design. You call up 1-800-BY-DESIGN, and the designer comes and takes a look at the house. And they have seen these problems before, but they don't give you something they gave another home. They customize it just for you. They fix the problems. Like all of a sudden the closet downstairs is working. There's room in the garage. In fact, everything's put away. And in the master bedroom, that closet looks great as well. And all of a sudden you have more space. 40% off, plus an additional 15% off on 18 months financing and approved credit when paid in full. That's Closets by Design, 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Meet Morgan Jones. Morgan is about to step into a world unknown to most, thanks to Progressive's Renters Insurance, a place of fresh linens and turn-down service. You see, Morgan temporarily vacated her apartment and has gone to a hotel because a pipe burst in her apartment. A pipe that made her sense of reality and apartment ceiling all come crashing down. Luckily, Morgan checked into Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical,
There's no beating CM Heating.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. Tacoma police are still investigating exactly what led to a stabbing at Foss High School that left 6 people injured. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch reports.
Tacoma police were called to Foss High School at about 1:40 for multiple stabbing victims. The suspect, a student, was among the injured along with 4 other students and a security guard. The events that led to the stabbings are unknown, but Tacoma police officer Shelby Boyd says a team is on site to figure it all out.
Our officers are here as well as our forensics unit, and they're just combing through the school, getting evidence, whether it be video, whether it be physical evidence that's left behind. So we also have witnesses that we're talking to, so we'll be here for a while.
Boyd says the suspect was taken into custody. Potential charges are unknown. In Tacoma, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
State health officials confirmed 3 additional measles cases. The Washington State Department of Health says 2 of those cases are in Kittitas County, the other in Spokane County. Agency says there is no known source of exposure. That suggests that measles is spreading undetected in the community. So far this year, 40 measles cases have been confirmed statewide. That's compared to 12 all of last year. Governor Bob Ferguson has agreed to pay a fine to settle an ethics investigation. Details from KIRO News Radio's Amanda Factor.
Governor Ferguson will pay a $4,000 fine for inviting a former aide to fly with him on a state plane last year. The state ethics board found Ferguson gave a special benefit to Mike Webb by bringing him on a trip to the Tri-Cities last June. Webb was not a state employee. He had resigned after allegations he created a hostile workplace for women in the governor's office. Ferguson called the decision to invite Webb, quote, pretty stupid, during a staff meeting. The board is expected to vote on that settlement next week. Amanda Factor, KIRO News Radio.
We have new information on a bomb scare yesterday near the Capitol State Forest.
The State Patrol's bomb squad removed and safely disposed of what turned out to be an active pipe bomb near an Olympia home along Waddell Creek Road. Thurston County Public Works crews found it while picking up trash. It was 11 inches by 2 inches and wrapped in multiple layers of duct tape. Homes in the area were evacuated while the bomb squad did its work. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Let's go now to the real-time traffic desk. Here's Nate Connors.
Thank you, Aaron. Volumes are thinning out across the region, but we are far from calling this one. Bellevue to Everett, still a 1-hour drive. It is solid from Kirkland to the Alderwood interchange. Seattle to Everett has gone down to 50 minutes, but it's still crowded from Northgate through Linwood. Everett to Marysville, we're still hanging on at a solid 20 minutes, and it's solid from 526 to 529, but you are close to freeway speeds through a good chunk of this. South 5 heading into Seattle, it is packed from Northgate to I-90. Linwood to Seattle is a half hour. North 5 is solid from the Michigan Curve to the Ship Canal Bridge. 45 minutes still to get through downtown Seattle. Both directions of the downtown tunnel remain packed through Seattle. And Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, we're seeing improvements. We're down to a half hour. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
See some more clouds around for tomorrow, but still breaking 70 degrees in many spots. Clearing skies on Saturday, and a big warm-up could see 80 degrees in Seattle on Sunday. Right now, 72 in downtown. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Aaron just took his name off the board, and so did Nate. It's down to Joe, and Teeny's on the floor again. What is happening to this show? I rushed in. I know, Teeny. Never mind. Just push the button, please. Names of all the players are on the wheel. The wheel spinning around in various colors. Look at that. Red and white and blue. Oh, very nice. And it lands on me. Well, what I would do is I would get myself some Wilcox Flying Farm eggs that are raw and could go into a microwave. And then I would submerge the eggs in a bowl of water with a teaspoon of salt, and then I would microwave at 50% of power for 10 minutes. And I would never, ever, ever microwave the whole eggs from Wilcox without water, or they would explode. There's my recipe. And then you can find that one in the book. Look it up in the book. It's there. Oh, why? Good for you. Oh, here we go.
What did you do?
Just trying to make a Wilcox Flying Farm egg.
Is this your recipe for today?
Oh, it stinks.
Yeah, that's disgusting. What did you do?
I was making a hard-boiled egg and put it in the microwave, and I boiled the water, but then I guess I lost the water, and but it's still good. It's still good. You can still eat this.
Oh my God, that is so gross.
You can still eat it. I'll show you. Look. You get a bowl.
What?
You can get a bowl. Okay.
We have one bowl.
It's only one bowl. This is just fun because you can just scoop that in. You want no shells. Don't let the shell get involved. See, Aaron? There you go. And some of this juice.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Go on. Let me know how it tastes. Nice one, John. So,
see,
I heard.
By the way, here we are in a newsroom. If that hadn't happened today, there would have been no excitement. There was nothing happening.
Seriously, have you tried that before?
What do you mean?
Have you done the whole boiling the water and then
again
in the microwave?
He's not here. Nate's not here. I was timing it perfectly, and I checked it once. The water hadn't boiled yet, and I knew, okay, I got to get to boil. Turn the thing down by 50%, ready to go. I hit it like at 6 minutes. I go back and check, and then Nate's like, "Hey, come over here and look at this video of this guy getting hit in the head with a club and then flying off a motorcycle into a car. Where do you think that is? What state? What state is that? Look at the guy with a 2x4 standing there, and the guy on the motor. Look at that, and he's showing it to me over and over again, and I'm like, I got an egg in the microwave.
No. You were.
You were in it. You were into it. We were analyzing it like the Zapruder film.
And then we hear an explosion. And I had no idea what you guys were doing, but there was literally an explosion in the kitchen. And that's when you realize, oh, I forgot something.
Right, because again.
Literally.
What a problem.
I've heard of like making like an omelet in a mug. You actually break the shell.
Put them in there and mix them up
with the cheese. I've never actually heard of boiling an egg though in water in a mug.
You can't do it, obviously.
Is it possible? I honestly don't know.
Before, I don't just do things willy-nilly. That's not who I am.
I think if you would have stopped at it and 45 seconds earlier.
And I would have
if
you weren't like, where do you think this guy was that got hit in the head with the 2x4? Like, what country is that?
I like how we paused the video and we're zooming in on the license plate and everything.
Why we needed to know what state it was, because then we wanted to determine. Here's what happened, everybody. It was a 2-lane road. There was a 4-lane road that was divided by a medium strip. This guy is on a bicycle, and he has a giant 2x4, right? It must be 8 feet long or whatever they're coming in, right? He's got it under his arm, and it's now it's bisecting the lane of the road, right? So these people are riding their bikes going by. This poor guy on a motorcycle is coming down the road, and he runs right into the 2x4. He flies off the bike and goes right into the side of a car.
You could hear it smack his head.
And then you hear the explosion of the egg. It was just way too much excitement here for us here at KIRO Radio.
By the way, every time Andrew is not on the ball with a rim shot, it's because Nate's doing the exact same thing.
Huh?
Showing stuff, talking about
every
stuff.
time Andrew goes, huh? What? I'm sorry.
Wait a minute.
That's
if we were in school, you'd be right up front.
What is happening? What is happening right now? You're blaming me for everything?
Could this mug be any bigger? Anyway, the sad thing was, I did clean it up. I really did. Because
you did a good job.
Patty that came back, and I could tell
Patty and Isaiah.
Isaiah was like looking at me like I had just, murdered a litter of puppies or something. He's like, I'll get a towel of some sort. Like, yeah, give me a towel.
No, can I get one of the shower towels?
I said, I need like a shower towel. You can just use the Seafold towels. But I'm going to be using a lot of Seafold towels. Can we just use a shower? No, you can use those. Can you get me a bucket? Then he gets me the bucket with the mop, but there's no water in it. Can I get another bucket to fill the other bucket, to put the thing in, to mop the floor? And then all of a sudden, Patty comes in to save the day.
Poor Isaiah.
So much excitement here, wasn't it?
He was so depressed. Isaiah.
Yes, why? Because
he felt he had to clean that.
I cleaned it.
I know.
That microwave is cleaner than it's ever been.
Yeah, I will admit it's pretty
I felt
nice.
bad, and then let's just not get into the stink. Oh. Holy crap! It was like Brock Hurd was working here again. That guy was. You could set your watch by it, and you could burn the hair out of your nose. And he would come out of that bathroom every night, every morning, like at 7:35. He'd say, "Whoa, give it 20 minutes." Like Mr. Jock Athlete, right? Remember that?
No ventilation.
Oh, it was awful. And you'd be at your desk, and the door would swing open. You're like, "Wow! Somebody put a hard-boiled egg in a microwave? What the hell's going on here?" And he was not at all apologetic. That was the other thing. He was like pride in it. Like that's like a super football thing, dude. Stuff.
It's a locker room.
There's a locker room thing, right?
He's proud of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, if I had a business, every one of my employees would have to get regular at home. You don't come in here, there'd be no toilet paper. You don't come in here and do that business. At home, get yourself a cigarette and a cup of coffee and sit on the john and get regular and then come to work. I'm not taking 20 minutes for you to do that stuff. No passing that stuff on my time. I'm sorry. Let me know when we're on the air, Andrew.
It's too late now.
I hope nobody sponsored that last 15 minutes.
Wilcox, family phone.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, Wilcox. Oh, shut up, Teeny. Stay on the floor. Here's Nate checking traffic.
Thanks, John. Global Credit Union has the update. All right, Bellevue to Everett, still struggling at a 1-hour drive. Your solid backup from Kirkland to the Alderwood interchange. Seattle to Everett, we're at 50 minutes. Everett to Marysville, give yourself 20. It is still slow, though, from 526 all the way to 529. All right, South 5 into Seattle is jam-packed from Northgate to I-90. It's a half-hour trip from Linwood to Seattle. North 5 just hasn't improved in the past 3 hours. It's bumper to bumper from the Michigan Curve to the Ship Canal Bridge. 40 to 45 minutes to get just through this. Both directions of that downtown tunnel remain bumper to bumper, and Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway continues to improve, now less than a half hour. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
You know, the house just feels disorganized because, well, you've started filling up a whole bunch of places that just can't hold it all. Like, for instance, think about the most disorganized part of the house. What is it? And it's supposed to be organized. So is it the closet downstairs? Is there an extra room somewhere where you just stuff everything? Maybe where you store Christmas ornaments or something, or Halloween stuff. And then maybe that's the garage, but it's all over the floor. You mean to put cabinets in, or at least put some shelves in, but that never quite works out. And you just think, God, if I could fix that one room and fix maybe the master bedroom, and maybe there's that guest room that's got that closet as well. If I could just have that organized, it would be so much nicer. I could find everything and it wouldn't be stressful. I wouldn't think as I opened the door, like, oh boy, look at this big mess. Where are those boots? No, that's where Closets by Design come in. And they will customize for you. Their designer comes to your house, they check out, they know the problems, and then they go to work. 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months, 0% financing on approved credit when paid in full. 1-800-BY-DESIGN. 1-800-BY-DESIGN. ClosetsByDesign.com.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! JSN!
Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Nick, you know what's a great thing about going to Longevity Medical Clinic as a couple?
Oh, I absolutely do. When they tell you to do something, you actually do it.
Right. And the same thing with you. When they tell you to do it, because for some reason, when I tell you to do it, you're like, whoa.
I just walk away and roll my eyes.
Exactly. But the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic, the doctors there know, because we do the blood draw and they look and they can see. They know. They hold us accountable.
Yeah, when I'm under pressure and I know I'm coming in, I know I have to work the program.
Right. Plus, we also want to hold each other accountable for how we take care of ourselves because, you know, we want to have a long, healthy, happy life.
I know. I want every day to torture you as long as I possibly can.
Well, I look forward to it. Here's the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic. They're working with you. They're holding you accountable because they want you to have a long, healthy, happy life. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
So what are you reading?
I'm checking out the ratings on the new TVs, and it looks like Samsung, LG, and Sony got the best scores.
Just like last year. What about those new high dynamic range TVs?
They got the highest scores of all, but their prices are really high.
Did you check online?
Yeah, their prices were about the same.
Well, there's one place where we can get a hot deal on those top-rated models.
Where?
At Video Only. Check out the ratings on TV stores.
I see. Video Only scored better than the others.
So, if you want the best deal on the best TVs,
then we should take our TV ratings and head over to top-rated Video Only.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
You can't control what's happening in the world. You can't control gas prices or what the market does tomorrow. But you can control whether your retirement is protected when the unexpected hits. That's what Rajiv Nagayach has dedicated his career to helping families do. Not just picking investments, but building one plan that brings your healthcare, housing, legal, and financial decisions together into a single strategy. A strategy designed to keep you out of a nursing home, protect your assets, and keep your family from becoming your unpaid caregivers. If the last weeks have made you uneasy about your future, you need help. Join Rajiv at a free 90-minute seminar this May. You'll see where most plans fall short and how yours doesn't have to.
Register for a free LifePoint Law retirement planning seminar in Puyallup on May 5th, Federal Way on May 6th, Bellevue on May 7th, or Linwood on May 12th. Seminars begin at 6:30 p.m. Space is limited, so sign up at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
Hartley here from Wilcox Family Farms. You've heard the saying, you are what you eat. Eggs are an incredible source of protein and omega-3s. But have you thought about what the hens eat to make healthier eggs? At Wilcox Farms, our hens enjoy organic pastures and a diet of organic grains and flaxseed, creating vibrant yolks, richer flavor, and real nutrition for your family. Next time you're at the store, choose Wilcox Eggs. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Let Olympic help you create the ultimate home contrast therapy studio. Pair a relaxing Tilo sauna with our revitalizing Vigor cold plunge. Save up to $5,000 when you buy both. These massive savings end April 30th.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration.
All right, Hudson, I think you're going to sing a little song for us, and I do need you to. We're having trouble picking up the second verse. It sounds like you're saying, right? And close enough. Right.
Oh, terrible. Jeez.
All right, that was my worst. The whole day's been going that way, Joe. The whole day.
I know.
All right, here we go. Well, we got the letter of the day. First, take care of all the rest. Joe.
RB in the 360 says, good afternoon, guys. So a long time ago, John used to have an assistant named Eric that would hand him a towel after he dove into the news.
That's true.
He was a Hispanic man with a half dozen kids and a withered arm that dogs would always fuss with. Does anyone else remember this?
Yes, and then Tom didn't like him. Tom didn't like that I had Eric. So what I did is I just kept adding more and more disabilities to Eric to where Tom, being a big liberal that he was, couldn't say anything against him. I made him Hispanic, then I gave him a withered arm, then I gave him a bunch of kids. Yeah. And then at that point, Tom was like, I guess he can stay. And the crazy thing was, he was an imaginary guy.
Yeah.
But Tom didn't like him until I piled on all of these, intersectionality
He thought that you were
things.
abusing Eric or something.
Yeah. It wasn't fair. Thank you, Eric, for the towel. He can come back at any time.
Oh, okay.
Julian Snoqualmie says, FYI, Bob and Dave told the whole egg story at the beginning of the show today. Oh, really?
That idiot Curly.
We should hear what they had to say.
I know, I should have pulled that. Mike in Portland says, I think you got, John, I think you should adopt one of the hippos from Colombia and you can feed them your giant pumpkin.
They do love pumpkins. Biscuit from Everett says, what was the outcome of the chicken court? I haven't heard any updates on it, and I'm curious. I've been advised by my attorney to keep it on the down low until June 9th when I have to go to court. We went to mediation, and my offer still stands, and now I got to go to court. Nice. Gee whiz,
Dennis in Seattle says, Smitty, so how are the banks going? So you say that kid wasn't very good at baseball, huh? And then you said he went into the bedroom and started crying like a little crybaby?
Mm-hmm, that's exactly right.
Nice.
Thanks for that, Dennis. Hard-boiled explosion. Dwayne in the QFC says, nice mess, John. Yeah, that thing, I didn't realize it would smell as bad as it did.
Yeah, that was disgusting.
That was the worst part.
Yeah, agreed. The real Tin Hat Jason says, hey now, maybe Nate is responsible, but it's just because he's so entertaining.
Mm-hmm. Brian in Arlington says, best segment ever.
Katie
Hold on a second. You know how hard we work on this show to find interesting cuts and news and statistics and like what's happening, and then Joe going into his rabbit hole, and us talking about our egg exploding was the best segment?
There you go. Just stop show prep, man. Show up 10 minutes beforehand and let her rip.
I've heard shows like that.
Yeah, not good. Katie in Tacoma says,
thanks, Nate.
John is making a very good case for office nuisances everywhere that some people should be allowed to work from home.
That's good. Carla in 425 says, oh my God, I'm dying laughing.
Jacob the Beer Guy said you guys are hysterical.
Oh, good. Thank you. Massage parlor or whack-a-mole. Stephen Pierce County says, regarding massage parlors, I haven't read it ahead of time. You read it.
I didn't either.
Go ahead, read it.
Is it your left knee or your wee knee that needs attention? Sasha says, as a libertarian, my opinion is what George Carlin said. Selling is legal. Adult activities are legal. Why isn't selling adult activities legal? He used a different word, and I don't want to curse on a text line, but I do believe that it should be regulated, safe, and protected.
Thank you for that. Okay, I'm sorry. We didn't read these ahead of time, and this isn't fair.
You said this.
But in context, when you all of a sudden just have it show up like a couple of words on a piece of paper.
No, this is what they heard. What did you say again?
I said, the problem is the police go in there, they you close one down, you rub one out, and then another one shows up.
Okay. Brianna in Arlington said that was really a good joke. Well done.
Spirit bailout. Adam from the Staples driver says, John, remember when we had the too big to fail 2009, 2010 during the recession? Sounds like that all over again. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Adam.
Max in 425 says Trump or his buddies must have stock in the company.
Something's wrong there. John in Snohomish says, goodbye, Spirit Airlines. Flying Spirit Airlines was worse than being punched in the face. Spirit Airlines is the Waffle House of the skies.
That's not being very nice to Waffle House. Stan in Linwood said Spirit Air should merge with Spirit Halloween.
And now it is time for the letter of the day.
This is from Jacob the Mariners fan who says, hey guys, I just listened to yesterday's show and I want to mention what I think the solution is for our low trust society. The answer is humility. Our leaders and institutions need to have more humility and need to admit when they're wrong and own up to their mistakes, as well as be able to acknowledge when the other side is right and give praise and credit where credit is due. Wishful thinking, I know, as humility is not a trait people in power have too often.
Like it a lot. Like it a lot.
I agree.
Nicely done. All right. Well, that's it. I think Nate's got a recipe for travel.
Yes, I do.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
That's it for the John Curley Show. You can watch us on Instagram as well, the John Curley Show on Instagram. Here we go, Nathan.
All righty. It begins with a Bellevue to Everett improvement to 50 minutes. Scattered backup still, though, from Kirkland to Alderwood. Seattle to Everett, also 50. You're slow from Northgate through Linwood. Everett to Marysville, you're at 15 minutes. Still crowded from the Boeing Freeway to 529, but you are close to freeway speeds through all of this. Now, South 5 into Seattle. It is still bumper to bumper from Northgate to I-90. Linwood to Seattle is a half hour. That includes a little slowing through Linwood as well. North 5 just jammed up. Now approaching the West Seattle Bridge at the Ship Canal Bridge. About 35 minutes from bridge to bridge. Crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle right around a half hour on both of our bridge routes. And Bellevue to Renton, we're at 35 minutes now. Bumper to bumper from 520 all the way through Factoria before things start to thin out. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO News Radio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for autopay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report. According to naturalists from Puget Sound Express, it's been an incredible week of wildlife on the Salish Sea. Numerous families of Biggs orcas are in the area hunting seals and sea lions, and migrating gray whales are feeding on ghost shrimp. Last week marked the first sightings of the year of migrating adult humpback whales and the elusive tufted puffin. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers daily guaranteed whale watching tours departing from Edmonds. These tours are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Starting May 1st, Puget Sound Express is launching a new all-day tour departing from Edmonds that includes a 2-hour stop on San Juan Island. Orcas, gray whales, humpbacks, minke whales, and so much more. Don't miss out on your chance to see whales in the wild. Family-run Puget Sound Express guarantees you'll see whales or your next trip is absolutely free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Golden Crest Metals helps investors understand how physical gold and silver can be held inside qualified retirement accounts without pressure or confusion. Our team brings decades of experience in precious metals and retirement planning with a focus on clear education, straightforward pricing, and a process designed to put clients first. Why do investors choose Golden Crest Metals? Experience, transparency, and a client-first approach. Tune into The Gold Show with Kenny Michaels every Saturday at 1 p.m.
This is a test of your emergency alert system. Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. Join the conversation and text your favorite show on the KIRO News Radio text line at 888-973-KIRO.